This is Comic Geek Speak, episode 1500. Uncle Sal lives!
Laser beams, opinions like the seasons on everything you read in comics, movies, games, toys, artists, Comic Geek Speak, Comic Geek Speak, Comic Geek Speak, Comic Geek Speak, Comic Geek, uniting the world's mightiest heroes. This is...
I'm Brian Chrisman.
I'm Shane Kelly.
I'm Peter Rios.
Comic Geek Speak.
And welcome to the show. Yes, we know we've done more than 1,500 shows, all our other episodes, but special episode 1,500. Got to have Uncle Sal on. Laughs, just laughs aplenty, fun stuff.
This episode is brought to you by the good folks at DiscountComicBookService.com and their sister company, InStockTrades.com. That's DCBService.com and InStockTrades.com. Currently, check out InStockTrades.com is having a moving sale as they're moving their
Physical location.
They're having an additional % off of various companies. Check out their websites for their details. Anything you see on the site that's available is in stock on their site. It's ready to ship if you order it. InStockTrades.com. I've placed many orders in recent months because they're having a lot of good sales. DCBService.com is pre-ordering for those books coming out in the previews catalog. Currently, there's a Athena Voltaire Compendium hardcover, 50% off. It's only $9.99. October Faction Fiction Squad, 50% off. Vampirella Fairy Tales is 50% off. There's also their bundle packages. Oh, there's Avengers and X-Men Axis special. Batgirl and Deathstroke, monthly bundles, 50% off. There's always a DC Kids bundle, a Vertigo bundle. It's a Valiant bundle this month. Aliens and Predator bundle, DC Kids, DC Monsters variant bundle for those of you who like variant covers, an Image bundle, Image Skybound bundle, 2014 Kids Mixed bundle, which is a whole bunch of kids books, a Vertigo bundle, Doctor Who special. Wow. Future's End Omnibus special.
Yeah,
There's just
stuff.
tons and tons of specials. Check them out. Good folks at DCBService.com and InStockTrades.com.
Now, like I said, this is I wanted to do something special for 1,500, so that's why we actually held this episode off for a little while till Monday. Give everybody the whole week to enjoy this episode.
Right. Soak it in.
So, without further ado, here's Uncle Sal.
Are you guys selling car insurance, or what's going on over there?
Was having a few problems. Or is my special guest also here?
Okay.
I'm here as well.
Oh,
Yay.
there, we've got Peter Rios.
Oh, my God. Peter Rios. When's the last time I talked to him?
It's been a while.
Peter, what's your story, man? How you been?
I've been good. My story is typical, you know. I grew up a poor Latino boy in the streets of Reddit.
I was going to say, are you calling from Cell Block now, or what? On a payphone, or what?
Yeah, I have the night off.
Yes, that's right. So when did you get hooked up with these guys again? Was it the high school reunion, or what happened? You guys run into each other at traffic court, or how the fuck did that work itself out?
Gay bar.
Yeah, you're at the manhole and
We
you're
were-
ready to pants.
We were at the Blue Oyster.
That's what I figured, man. You were at the White Swallow, and you ran into Brian there because that bullshit about a new job. I ain't buying that bullshit. I know he swings on the daisy chain now. He ain't fooling anybody.
He was dancing. That's how we saw him.
Well, he was, he tried that, that indie book called Ball 2, which was, the story of a young gay man in Pennsylvania. And he wanted to do that whole, Liberace thing, but it didn't pan out for him. But it's okay. He looks good in men's clothes. It's all right.
Well, we're all gathered here because it's our special 1500th episode of Comic Geek Speak.
You told me that in an email, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, my God, has it been? How many years has it been now? What does that make?
9.5.
Yep.
9.5 years.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a lot longer.
It does at times.
Because the first time I heard from you guys was from Peter. Peter was the guy that contacted me. Because when you guys were doing sponsorship stuff, you were shopping around for sponsors, and that's initially how Peter contacted me a million years ago. And then we shot the shit a little bit, and I think I was talking shit about Rob Liefeld or something, and then one thing led to another. You know. But that was when I was in witness protection.
You weren't even a daddy then.
No.
Yeah, man, the air was, you could breathe free air in those days. Before you wind up, losing your mind with all this bullshit. 1,500 episodes. Which ones stick out the most for you guys? Anything stick out or what?
Wow, so many of them. A lot of the early interviews I wasn't even around for. Stan Lee, Joe Kubert.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Is Joe Kubert.
Gene Colan.
Gene Colan's a great one.
All good guys, man.
Oh,
Stan doesn't have shit to say. He does so many fucking cons now. The guy's a bigger whore than I am. So like at this point. And let me tell you something. I don't know if you've seen this guy close up. It's not pretty, man. He is like not a well man. And how they drag him to cons every 15 minutes just seems like a bad fucking idea. It really does.
And they're not always local cons. Sometimes he's in Australia or
no,
Canada.
no. He goes in. I know that he backed out of Comic-Con, and then I know he backed out of the Guardians premiere, just literally last minute. And because he runs into problems. Because when you're his age, I don't know if I've seen him, like in the green room and places like that at cons, and he's an old guy, man, and he's really thin now, and if you bump into him, it's like a house of cards. And I'm thinking, come on, I understand you want to be out and about, but is it really about the money at this point? I mean, don't you want to just, enjoy the rest of your life, or do you really want to be, talking shit with Boba Fett every weekend?
Yeah, because he's like 92, I think.
Oh, God. He went to high school with Moses, for Christ's sake. You fucking kidding. No? You've seen this guy, right, Peter, or am I crazy?
Yeah. Sometimes I think, he should do like the whole Johnny Carson thing. When you retire, you just go into seclusion.
Take it easy. I mean, unless his old lady's crazy, then I can understand it. Some of these guys, you just want to get the fuck out of the house. Guys that ice fish and astronauts and guys like that. Guarantee you're married to some crazy bitch. They just, it's got nothing to do with the moon. Neil Armstrong just couldn't take his wife anymore. He's like, get the fuck out of here. What's going to happen to me, on the moon? It doesn't happen to me here. What am I going to, am I going to crash? Fuck, who cares? Because I know if I don't go to a con at least every couple of months, my wife, she gets too close to the knives. I got to be careful. These Asians with that ninja shit and those throwing stars, you got to be careful. So, I always love the guys. How do you leave your wife? How do you leave your, go to a con? Guys, I'm going for usually, with the exceptions of San Diego and Italy, the longest I'm gone is a couple days. You go for a weekend. It's like, what's the big deal? Where am I going? Storming the beaches at Normandy? Where the fuck am I going? I'm not going, they're not dropping me out of an airplane to do something. Like, I'm gone my wife won't even know I'm gone. I tell her I'm going to get ice, and then I just, I'm back 3 days later. She's like, hey, where's the ice? I don't give a fuck.
Shit, I forgot that.
Yeah, they get to watch whatever they want on TV. I mean, they talk shit about me now in front of me, so what difference does it make? I become that crazy old bastard they talk about, so I know that it's not the end of the world.
So, how was Comic-Con for you?
Did any of you guys go? No.
No, actually, this is the first year I missed it.
Peter, did you do any shows anymore, or no? Too busy with the choreography and the teaching and stuff.
Yeah, barely get out to a show, and a lot of it is just because, You know, I teach on Fridays and Mondays and other days, but mostly Fridays and Mondays. And I hate the running to a convention and running back home again. You know, I don't like that.
It's
so
tough, man. When
Yeah.
you gotta, you know, it's the same story with you know why I just can't do as many as I used to. I just don't have the energy or the time to go to cons. You know, I know guys they go every week to a con. It's like I don't have the time, man. But Comic-Con was awesome. It was. I mean, we had a lot more. We put a lot more work into this year than we've done in the past. We had a lot more stuff we were doing through Marvel this year, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out really well. I mean, it was a good turnout. I mean, being across from the Marvel booth with all that Avengers shit was a blessing and a curse because, you know, they had the whole cast of the Avengers, you know, right across from us. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know, we had to shut the booth down for a couple hours because it got that ugly.
Wow.
And, yeah, well, you had people camping out, you know, like 2 hours before, you know, and all you could, I mean, they were just signing. There wasn't, you couldn't get close because you needed to have some kind of a ticket or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And people were just losing their minds because I guess they did the big thing in Hall H. You know, they slept all night and all that bullshit. But you know, it's San Diego. You've been there. You know what it's like. It's the same kind of thing every year.
Yeah.
People complain. People like it. People complain. It, you know, everybody who talks shit about it, good and bad. I guess you're right to some degree. But you know. There's still a lot of comics there. I know people say there's no comics there. There's still lots of comics.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's not all about comics, but there's still lots of comics there. You know, I mean, the comics don't spend as much money as the movie guys and the TV guys to get their name heard. So that's probably why people think, oh, there's no comics. You know?
Yeah, I mean, when I've been out there, I barely know about the entertainment stuff because even if you wanted to go there, it's like an all-day event. So I go to the floor, you know, I go to comic panels and, you know, meet the creators and things. So, I mean, absolutely, you know, do what you want. But, yeah, there's plenty of comics there to be had. Absolutely.
Well, you know, there's a lot of I know the story was the guy from Mile High Comics.
Oh, yeah.
Chuck
Krasansky, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about leaving, you know, and he was talking about it. But, you know, you got to remember, too, you know, the stuff that, the Silver Age stuff that, you know, you guys, I'm dating you guys a little bit because you're not as old, but the stuff that I grew up with in the late 60s and 70s, that stuff just doesn't have a lot of value anymore. You know, I mean, it does to us, sentimentally and otherwise, but only the graded stuff and only the stuff that's slabbed, people even, you know, collectors even care about it anymore because I still buy a lot of it, but just, you know, to read and for collecting, not for selling. And, you know, if you're still trying to sell that stuff and make a lot of money off of it, forget about it. You know, if you got long boxes where you're selling, you know, back issues of Daredevil for $35 a piece, it's just shit just don't sell because there's so much of it online now. And a lot of these dealers, they just don't want to adapt to all the bullshit that's going on with CGC and the variants and all the, you know, show exclusives and all that shit. And I understand, but when they start going on and on about the good old days, it's like, yeah, well, you know, the good old days, I used to like to fuck cheerleaders. That don't happen anymore. That's how it is. Oh, I mean, the good old, what fucking good old days are you talking about? I mean, you know, we're going to live in the past? I mean, we can't. So, you know, a lot of these guys, like the Mile High Comics guy, I love that. You know, it's great. These guys have been there forever. I love all those guys. You don't want to see any of them go. Mm-hmm. But in any business, man, you've got to adapt or forget it. Or you're going to, you know, wind up a 73 El Camino. Rusty Jones or something like that. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. You know? So when I hear, oh, I'm leaving, it's like, guys, you know, what do you want me to tell you? Well, of course we want comics there, and I still buy tons of that. I still buy tons of comics, just almost like because I want to give them a good home, you know, because I see them sometimes where they're just giving them away. You know, nobody seems to care anymore about the stuff, you know, when it was 20 cents. All those, you know, Kid Colt and all that bullshit. Nobody buys that stuff anymore, you know. Daredevil and Iron Man and Luke Cage and Tomb of Dracula, all that shit. You know, I love all that stuff, but it seems to be just, you know, it's all that CGC crap now.
Yeah, I never got into the CGC stuff. I know that, like Sal mentioned, that's really big. But I love getting the reader copy stuff. When I was out in Seattle,
that's how I am, man.
Yeah, Seattle. I got like about a 35 issue run of Daredevil from like issue 11 to like 50 for $4 or $5 a piece. That's my wheelhouse. And you're right, the guy ain't getting rich on it.
Buy it on eBay. Go on eBay and just type in Daredevil Run or Daredevil Lot or the same with, pick a book, Iron Man or Thor, any of that stuff, the Buscema stuff, or whole runs of Spider-Man with Romita Senior stuff. It's just, I like to read it, man. I don't like to buy it and put it under the bed, and I understand guys that are into that stuff, or the Golden Age stuff. I understand, but there's just, I was at the comic store yesterday, and there's just no. I was talking to them about it, and they got all that stuff on the wall, and there's no value in that shit anymore, because the people that buy it aren't there anymore. You buy here and there to fill in the gaps, and most crazy collectors I know buy the Golden Age stuff or they buy the early Marvel stuff, but they buy it for investment purposes. What the fuck do I buy for investment purposes? Like Doritos? I don't do that shit.
I'm happy if it has a cover that's solid. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, I'm like, I bought a whole box of the stuff at a garage sale. They had the covers ripped off. I didn't give a shit. I was like, Marvel's greatest comics are all missing the covers. I bought a whole big stack of Tiger Beats because Peter was on them. That was the only reason. It was the Hot Young PR editions that were, out that summer. It was the ones before you broke up with Menudo. It wasn't the ones after you did your own album and shit. But
right.
Look good.
Yeah, that was between Menudo and El DeBarge.
You had the tail, so it must have been in between. You did that thing with Expose. That Seasons Change album you did with Tom. It was good. It still holds up.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. So the Alex Ross booth did pretty well this year, because I know I've seen all these images. He finally was drawing the iconic Marvel guy, which I know is what he always really loves doing.
For all the
I'm glad he's doing all the major. I won't bullshit for a minute. I'm glad to see he's doing the stuff that people give a shit about. I'll say it. I was never a big fan of all the Dynamic Forces stuff, only because I just felt that a lot of people kept asking me about when's he going to go back to Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
When's he going to be back doing characters that people want? There's a lot of brand loyalty in comics. People want Coca-Cola, man. They don't want Yum Yum. They don't want Mr. Pibb. They want Spider-Man. They want Batman. They want, and I understand what he was doing for a while with there's a lot of Golden Age stuff that he was fond of that he wanted to do with the Phantom and the Shadow and Green Hornet and all that stuff. But, I wanted him. I was always a Marvel guy. I grew up, I was a Marvel guy. And I was, a DC guy to some degree, but not as much as Marvel. And I just wanted him to do that. And plus, when you work with Marvel, it opens up. They let us do the lithos, and they let us do the smaller products, which help a lot. Defer a lot of cost when we're at shows. We just started a fan page for them on Facebook.
I signed up for that.
Yeah, well, we figured. I kind of shied away from it for a long time because Alex is not a big computer guy.
Mm-hmm.
But there were so many Facebook pages of his on Facebook that were fake. They weren't really from him or from us, and we had nothing to do with any of those. That we finally decided just to start one, and see how it went. And it's been doing really well. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're not just going to be up there showing pictures of cats and shit. We're going to talk about what he's working on and show prelims and show pencils and stuff like that.
You're not going to post when he's baking a pie?
Yeah, I'm not going to show the ones like where they're making toast. Like Jill Thompson will show ones where she's knitting, shit like that. Or Jimmy Palmiotti, every time he scratches his ass, he's got to post it on there. Like he's fucking Ricardo Montalban or something. And you're just like, who fucking cares? Sometimes you want to kill yourself when you see the shit that people post. I post pictures of my kids because I know, fuck it, who else is going to look at them? If I don't post, I want ex-girlfriends to see that I'm not, still in jail. I'm actually out, so they can stop sending me hate mail at this point. But it's a necessary evil. I mean, it's all like Twitter. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Facebook. Social media is part of the world we live in. You don't have to live and die by it like some people do. But it's important for business. It's important for especially with comics and the world we live in this kind of the stuff we're into. Everybody's got Twitter and Facebook and all that shit. So, it's important. I think. Alex thinks it's kind of like, he could take it or leave it. But I think it's important. But, there's also, they've got yoga pants, apps, and things like that I can subscribe to. and it's like, hey, there's all kinds of sick shit on there now. You can't believe the stuff they cater to,
Well, I do enjoy seeing posting all of your photos from Comic-Con, whether you're at the con or when you're out, at the Padres game, with Sal and with Tiz and Ty and all the other guys, your whole crew there.
Those jagoffs. Ty, we affectionately call the Shadow Thief, which he's not fond of, but it's so. Hey, listen, he gets out of the car, the fucking oil light goes on. It's not my fault.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, you can't travel anywhere with Ty because it's all they think he's fucking Al Qaeda, so they pull you over everywhere you go. They stop you every. I refuse to walk through an airport with him. The face recognition software just starts fucking beeping everywhere you go when they see this guy.
Why he's such a
and
sweetheart?
I'm like, you know what? And you hang around with Ty, and all of a sudden there's a gray van parked across the street from your house the next fucking day with blacked out windows. And the guy, they're putting up there's a cable truck in my alley for a week the next fucking week when I got back from Comic-Con. I'm like, Ty, why the fuck, don't you just wear a turban and walk around and talk shit about 9/11 while you're at it? Because that's what it's like when I get back after I hang around with this fucking guy. His picture's on every, fucking, pedophile website there is, so it doesn't matter. He said, it's like he's got more shit under his fingernails than a fucking proctologist. That's not my fault,
I love when he takes selfies with actors, and there's more of Tiz in the picture than the actor.
No, yeah, and it's like I said, every picture he takes with a celebrity, imagine they're being held hostage. Imagine it's a ransom photo, because that's what they all look like. They all look like the one he took with the broad from the Terminator. It looks like it's like, send us $1 million, you'll never see this woman again. They look miserable, And he'll take pictures of people that I'm supposed to know who the fuck they are. I'll be like, Tiz, who the fuck is that? It's like, it's the guy from Firefly, stupid. Don't you know? And I'm like, Tiz, I don't even know what the fuck Firefly is. I really don't. I'm an old guy. I don't know what anybody who's under the age of 25 is. I don't know any of that shit. It's the guy from Dawson's Creek. Don't you remember? What the fuck do I know? Unless it's fucking Nicholas from 8 is Enough. I don't know who the fuck anybody is anymore. I don't know anybody. I mean, the whole time I was at Comic-Con, people were going, hey, there's such and such, or hey, there's such. I'm like, guys, unless it's James Coburn or Charles Bronson, I have no fucking idea anymore. I have no idea anymore. It's like my son when he dives off the dresser head first, and he wants to know why he hurt his head. It's like, well, what you doing diving off the dresser? Wants to play Rhino. Hey, what happened? Like shit on fire. I want to know, hey, what happened? Why did the smoke detector go off? Like, I don't know. Maybe it fucking threw bacon in the heater. He might have fuck do I know around here? Because nobody listens to anything I say anymore. They're at the age where they don't kind of ignore me. They completely ignore me. Completely. Anything I say has there's no words behind any of it. When my mother used to say, do you want me to beat the shit out of you? There was something behind, do you want me to beat the shit out of you? If I give them a bad fucking haircut, they'll come, DCFS will knock on the door the next day and take me away. Take me away. My mother would hit us with, like, fuck, you name it, she hit us with it. Car bumpers, fenders, brooms, tree branches, she'd send you to get shit to beat your own ass with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, you remember it, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can't say shit to these kids nowadays. Nothing.
Go get the belt.
You tell them stop it 15 times. No, I run out of stop it's. I mean, I physically reach a point in the evening where I'm like, I can't say stop it anymore. I can't. I tell my wife, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do anymore. I mean, it's almost like a cruel joke someone's playing on me. But that's how it is. What are you going to do? I apologize to my mother every time I see her. The fucking shit we put her through, man. Me and my brothers drove by. But then again, like I said, my mom wouldn't hesitate to, you know, she was like Rorschach. She'd throw fucking hot oil on you if you didn't stop it. Oh, you're in here with me. I'm not in here with you. That was what it was like living in fucking 5807 Magnolia when I was a kid. It was like a real bad hero for hire villain. My mom was Black Mariah. Remember Black Mariah? Like in issue number 4 of Luke Cage? That was my mom. She made money on the side as a Luke Cage villain.
But now
come on. You come from a Puerto Rican family, Peter. You had to get your ass kicked too, right?
I was a good kid.
Yeah, but Puerto Rican families are like Italian families, you know, very, very, you know, mother and father are old school, you know, where it's like you behave yourself or you know you're getting your ass kicked.
Well, I knew I was in trouble when I walked home from school and the door was already open. Then I know that something's going to happen. But it wasn't, it wasn't spanking. It was the belt or a hanger.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, but you knew it was coming. You knew there were consequences for shit that you did.
Oh yeah.
See, these kids have no consequences. They know that like there's nothing behind it. You know, if you tell them, "Hey, cut it out," what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You know, I tell my wife that. I go, well, you know, you're Asian. You get away with that shit. It's kind of like OJ. They won't indict you. They'll indict you on a curve. I'm Italian. They'll just throw the fucking key away as soon as they get here. They'll just assume it was bookmaking or there were numbers involved or some bullshit. You know, it's like there's no middleman when it comes to getting arrested when you're Italian. They won't sell us spray paint or switchblades anymore. That shit's over with. But, you know, it's like I'm also at the age where it's like, you know, there's no empty nest over here. When these kids decide they're going to move, bye. Bye. You know, they're going off to college. Bye. I'm getting married. See ya. I'll tie a rocket to my ass and I'll be out of here. I swear to God. You'll see me at cons with like a permanent smile on my face, like the Joker. And I can go out to dinner again, and I can go to the show again, and I can have some fucking freedom again. You know, I'm that crazy old guy now. I get excited when I see back-to-school shit at the stores. You know, because they're going back to school in, I don't know, whatever it is, 2 weeks or some shit like that. They're going back. I see parents crying, you know. Crying.
No.
I'm crying with happiness when I'm walking home. I'm crying. What time do I got to pick them up? 3. Do you have late pickup? Do you have maybe 8:30? Can I come? Is
there something they can do around the school?
Yeah, I'll bring cigarettes and candy, you know, to keep them, you know, if they get hungry. You know, don't you need somebody to help clean out the asbestos? You know, you got in the furnace area. Do you need somebody to help stoke the furnace and shit? You don't need that? Okay. Well, never mind. I took a shot.
I used to get chased around with the wooden spoon and the thread of my dad's belt. He didn't even have to hit me with it. All he had to do was reach for it.
Yeah, my father would send you upstairs to get your ass kicked. He would come home and he was so tired from work because he used to work second shift that he would send you upstairs and say, "Go upstairs. I'm coming up in a half an hour to beat the shit out of you." And sometimes he would forget, so you would be sitting up there waiting for the executioner.
And that's almost worse. Just the waiting.
Well, and I would say maybe 2/3 of the time you got your ass kicked, but the other time he would fall asleep, or I don't know, he would start watching, Columbo or some bullshit, and then he'd forget about it.
But did you move to find out where he was?
Oh, no, you stayed there
That's
because
right.
you didn't want to make any noise to remind him you were up there. you'd put on armor, a
Yep.
couple extra pairs of pants.
Uh-huh.
You know, sometimes you'd be like Tony Stark, build a whole fucking set of armor and wait for him. You'd be up to welding and shit, getting ready to get your ass kicked.
But you
And
do it all from
usually-
sitting on the bed.
Yeah, but usually it had to be something pretty bad for my ma to get my dad to beat your ass, because my ma was just quick, fast. She was immediate justice around my house. She'd hit you with whatever, whatever she had in her hand, usually what you got hit with. And those were the days when the teachers could still beat your ass.
Yeah.
Public schools, they didn't fuck around in those days. The nuns we had, oh God, a couple of years I went to Catholic school when I was a kid. Those nuns are the ones I hope I run into someday on the street. I don't give a shit if they're 100 years old. I'll still trip them. I saw some of the nuns I had at St. Ida, I swear to God, it would not be, I'd be like, hey, didn't I have you in second grade? Aren't you the one that pulled my hair and put gum on my hair? Aren't you that old broad? Kicked her, walk her away, keep going. Cut the oxygen, something like that. 'Cause those were some evil bitches, let me tell you.
But I've seen, doesn't your son want to sort of get into drawing? I see it as you post a picture of his artwork.
They were welcome home
Big
daddy
girl.
signs
Oh.
when he came from San Diego.
Yeah, that was not my house, actually, that sign was. That was somebody else's house. I just wanted to. Mine was stay out greaseball. Yeah, when I got there. Go home. They had arrows pointing to the neighbor's house. That kind of shit. My shit was out on the front porch. No, he's actually, surprisingly enough, you hope they get into stuff that you're into, but, oftentimes that doesn't happen, And he likes, he's into it, but, all kids at that age draw. So I'm not one of those parents that goes on and on. Oh, my kid's a genius. My kids are normal kids, regular kids, and he likes to draw. He's into it. He sees what I do, and he sees a lot of comics around. So, he seems like he's into it. My daughter, on the other hand, is like fucking Ronda Rousey. She's like the baby cage fighter. This kid is gonna wrestle bears, I think, for a living. She's 3 years old. She already beats the shit out of her brother.
Oh, man.
It's ridiculous. I mean, she gets written up at school all the time, man. And I read the reports. Punched girl in the face. I'm like, oh,
Wow.
okay. Yeah, body slammed boy while fighting off other two kids, kicked other girl inside of head. And you go, what the fuck, guys? What is this, live and let die? What's going on here? It's like, you only live twice when they jump into the volcano to fight Blofeld. And that's my daughter going down the rope. You're like, what the fuck? What's going on here? This kid solves everything with her fists. And I don't mean any hair pulling and pinching, rolling around on the floor. She's like, she was watching that, what is it, that Ultimate Fighting whatever with that Ronda Rousey broad, that one that the blonde one, and she likes her, so she imitates the cage fighters.
Oh, God.
My.
Right? So I'm like, okay, do they have the junior division for 4-year-olds? I'll make a few dollars. Get Pampers, and Gerber as a get sponsors, Legos and shit, on the side of her trunks, because, and I tell my wife, I go, I don't know where she gets this shit from, because my son is the nicest kid there is, right? Just all the Asian side of the family, all real nice, and he's polite, and, he's skinny, My daughter, forget about it. She's Big Barda. This kid doesn't fuck around. She's like Thundra from the Fantastic Four. She just takes on Ben Grimm and just throws him against the wall. I mean, that's my daughter. Climbs the shelves in the refrigerator to get the salami. Pulls the salami out. Walks around eating the salami. And you're like, whose fucking kid is this? It's like she's like a mutant. But she wants to defend herself, but I'm like, oh, guys, what do you want me to tell a 3-year-old when she beats the shit out of another kid? I don't know what to say to a 3-year-old. Stop it. I can't get her mother to listen to me. How am I going to get her to listen to me? But hey, she's, I think she's from they switched kids from Genesis and, Apocalypse. I think I got the kid from Apocalypse. I think this is really Darkseid's baby, and somewhere my daughter's living, in New Genesis now or something, and fucking running around with OMAC and, and Orion and shit, because this is definitely, she has the bolts that come out of her eyes and change directions and all that shit, so fucked up. I've seen her do it before.
Oh, because I remember that recital you told us about. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I am not kidding with this kid. It's the strangest thing how DNA works out with kids. Where my son, it's just all like his mom. It's all Asian kind of thing, where he's real polite and nice and, the easy-go-lucky. And my daughter, it's just like she's just ready to beat the shit out of people all the time. I'm not kidding. No, there's always constant fighting in this house, and she's always instigating it. Girls are just, they're arch criminals just in general, but this kid is, this kid is, they'd let her cross the Rainbow Bridge. Heimdall would be like, fuck it, go ahead. I'm not going to. I ain't going to stop. Go ahead. There's nothing I can do here. Go ahead.
I have two boys, and I'm perfectly happy to not have girls. I have nieces. They come, they visit, they go.
It's worse than you could ever possibly imagine. It's 10 times worse than I ever thought it was going to be when you have a girl. I mean, because they're just so much ahead of the curve at such a younger age that it's ridiculous. It's fucked up. And every time you think it's nice and everything's going to be fine, it's like the end of Terminator, where all of a sudden they just climb out of the fire and the garbage, and they're just like an exoskeleton walking. When they don't want to go to bed, it becomes, forget it. You pick her up and she kicks you in the balls and, and knocks you in the head and runs and, I know, I swear to you, sometimes I hear the car running in the garage. You figured out how to go in the garage. And then they're like fucking Houdini. They can always figure out how to get out of shit. And no matter where you hide shit, you could put the Kit Kats on the roof, like they're a bear, and they find a way up the chimney. You see them with grappling hooks, throwing them up the side of the house. And they always figure out where you hide shit. I don't know how, but they always do. Never want to go to bed, never want to listen to you. Fuck with the medicine cabinet all hours of the day and night. You'll be sleeping and you'll hear somebody in the medicine cabinet at 3 in the morning. You'll go, who's fucking in the medicine cabinet? And I go, what are you doing? Oh, I needed an aspirin. I have a fever. I'm like, you're fucking 3 years old. What fever? What are you talking about? Get out of here. You're not my boss. She tells me. Go to her room. Yeah. Not my boss.
Oh, boy.
And she'll run and tell my wife bullshit. Daddy just slapped me. I fucking wasn't anywhere near. What the fuck she's talking about? I thought about it. Daddy kicked me and punched and pulled my hair. I'm like, what? Crack of shit. I'm telling you, man. It's like Red Skull with a backpack. That's my
daughter. I see all these little girls at the toy store, and they're all going through Frozen. They all want to be Elsa and the princess. No. And you got the wrong end of that.
Ronda Rousey. She loves Ronda Rousey. We call her Baby Rousey. That's her nickname. I swear to you, she loves Ronda Rousey. Goes on YouTube and she just watches Ronda Rousey videos on YouTube. That's all she.
Well, why'd she do it on YouTube in the first place?
She takes the iPad away from her brother, literally by force. She throws him into a 3-leg lock kind of thing, and he gives up the fucking iPad.
Does she yell, "Do you yield?"
Yeah, and she's like the baby with the dragon tattoo, where she figures out how to get through the fucking passwords and codes. And she just does whatever the fuck she wants. I mean, it's like, when I tell you there's nothing you can do, I mean there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can fucking do. I'm telling you. This is like a young Bruce Wayne. where she's building she has a cave somewhere, I know, and she's just building shit right now. She's going to pull up with a tumbler one day at daycare. I know she is. No doubt in my mind. It's like, I wish it was a joke, but it's not.
Oh, my God.
You come into the house one time, it's dark, you think you've got her. She turns on the light. I know you were coming. I was ready.
Yeah. No, it's like, and they're so quiet. I mean, they sneak up on you because they've got, like, you know, you can't hear them. And then all of a sudden a head looks around the corner at 3 in the morning and scares the holy fuck right out of you. And she's got, like, cat's eyes where they glow in the dark when she looks around the corner. And I swear to you, and I just gave up. I don't even try anymore. I tell her, hey, come on, cut it out, stop fighting. You know, and you look in the, when they're in the back seat, it's a constant fighting. Stop, it's a constant, cut it out, guys, stop fighting. And they fight over everything. Who's taller, who sits up higher, whose seatbelt's longer, who walked in first, who finishes eating first, who farts the loudest. I mean, they fight over everything, everything. And I told my wife, I said, listen, you know, is there any way that I could just live someplace else, you know, and I'll come and visit? You know, is there any way we could do this? You know, I'll get like the Fonzie tree house or some bullshit out in the yard, and I'll, you know, I'm not kidding. I'll live like, give me like a garbage can with lumber burning, and I'll just sit out there. Because these kids, I mean, it's like they've taken over. It's like, I'm not bullshitting. I am like, right now I'm on borrowed time. I'm going to come home one day and all my shit's going to be packed. And they're going to go, look, Sal, look, we discussed it. And
you're out.
I don't know how I don't know how to put this to you, but we don't want to hurt your feelings because we know you're a little chubby. But we think that maybe it's best if you moved out. You know. And you wouldn't even get the whole sentence out of your mouth before you hear squealing tires. And I would fucking be out of here. Because these kids, you know, it's like you worry about, what about, you know, a single parent? Are you kidding? You could drop these kids in the middle of a fucking desert island. And I guarantee you, like you want to get rid of terrorists or whatever, drop my daughter into like it right in the middle of fucking Iraq or Afghanistan. They'll come running out with their hands up. They'll go, fuck this. Fuck this. You know, let me get out of here. I mean, I literally go in the bathroom to take a shit, and that's my only sanctuary. That's where I hide. I'm like Quasimodo on the toilet. Just like, I don't make any noise so they can't hear me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you see like little arms coming underneath the door, you know, trying to figure out how to fucking pick the lock. You hear them picking the lock.
I've had my son pick the lock and get in.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, you hear him like picking the. What are you doing in there?
Nothing.
I'm like, I'm hiding. I tell him, I'm hiding. Leave me alone. My cat. I haven't seen my cat in 5 years. I mean, the litter box. They're shit in the litter box, and the food disappears. But I haven't seen my cat. I mean, he's painted himself like the texture of wood and shit, and he just stands in front of the coffee table when they walk by.
My kid was, my youngest was 3 years old. I was in the bathroom, door locked. He went and got a glasses screwdriver, stuck it in the door, twisted it, and got in.
And got in, yeah. And
like,
people think you're exaggerating. Yeah.
No, honest to God.
They've done that to me I don't know how many times. They go get a butter knife. I hear them in the drawer, get a butter knife, and they pry the fucking door open.
Yep. It drives me crazy.
So now people wonder if you ever see me like in the grocery store parking lot, just sitting in my car. Don't. That's why, because I don't want to go home. I just sit there. And I'm
That's
like,
why I carry a book with me at all times. I never know when I'll get 5 minutes alone, even if it's in a parking lot.
I'm right there with you. I walk through the aisles of the grocery store so slow. I'm like, I'm in no hurry. I get lost on purpose. Oh, fuck. It's back that way.
I go for milk and cheese, and it takes me an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. What took you so long? I ran into some people. Oh, shit, those lines.
The deli counter line was long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. You know how I went to San Diego. I didn't even go to the con. I just stayed in the hotel room. I don't know. How's the con? Fuck, I don't know. I heard it was good. I stayed in my room. You know, watch television. What did I watch? Anything. Anything that doesn't have like a bald-headed 4-year-old named Caillou or some fucking cat or some bullshit or some pig that talks, you know, or some sickness. some bullshit I got to watch. And I'm like, guys, because since you got the DVR, my daughter will watch the same program like 150 times. I'm like, do we really have to watch this again? You know, this bullshit, you know, because they got to have a specific episode. And I'm like, you know, they delete all your recordings, you know, to make way for their shit.
There are times I stay up till everyone's sound asleep and I go put in The Matrix, Kill Bill, something that is just not for them because I can.
I try to, like I said, I try to stay, you know, somewhat sane, you know, but, and the hard thing about it is, realistically, I probably got to get a studio in the next couple of years because I can't get shit done around here. I really can't. I mean, because I can't concentrate. Every time you try to draw, people don't understand. They think it's like, you know, you're painting Christmas ornaments or something, like you're, you know, in fucking, you know, in Bangladesh somewhere, where it's just you're doing piecework. I can't concentrate. These kids constantly got to come down here and fuck with me. They crawl under the table while I'm drawing, scared the living shit right out of me. I mean, it's literally like, you know, Anaconda, where all of a sudden something grabs your leg while you're drawing, and your heart stops. Now, they're probably trying to kill me, so I have a heart attack, and they find me laying there. You know, so they can have a bonfire with all my Eternals, you know, back issues. That's, you know, fuck do I know? But, you know, and then you hear stories about people that take kids and apprehend kids. Why in the fuck would you take a kid? I'll never understand. Stealing babies from hospitals and shit. You got to be out of your fucking mind. You got to be out of your mind. I mean, why you'd want one of these things? It's like, you know what we really need around this house? I really need a pet porcupine. That's what I really need. I really have never had hemorrhoids. I wonder what they're like. That would be something that I should explore. You know, yeah, you know how to put, like, you know, Tabasco in the salve and rub it all over my ass. That's what I should do. You know, because you hear these people, oh, my life is incomplete without a baby. It's like you have no fucking idea what you're starting. I mean, it's like people are like, oh, with Walking Dead. Walking Dead's a fucking picnic. You could drop me in the middle of that world and it'd be like a fucking picnic for me. At least I could see them coming and they walk slow. My kids, shit. Try chasing one of my fucking kids when they run at the store and knock shit over and you smell something burning at 2 in the morning and shit like that. Steal kids.
I guess my question is, well, then, why did you have
I don't
kids?
know what I was thinking, Pants. If that's what the fuck you're going to ask me, why or what? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's just like, I don't have any idea what the fuck was going through my mind. It's like being a vampire. I don't know. It's too late now. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do. I guarantee you all those people sleeping on the sidewalk outside of Hall H at Comic-Con, they're married. They're not waiting. They don't even know if they're waiting in line for. They just want to get the fuck away from their kids. What are you guys waiting for? Oh, I got 2 little kids. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Oh. I guarantee most comics, if you follow it back, why they're out at 2 in the morning fighting crime, get away from their kids, usually. Not their parents got murdered or they're out for revenge or any bullshit like that. Daredevil probably has 2 kids at home. He's like, fuck this. I'm going to pretend like I'm blind and get the fuck out of the house. I got to get out of here. I can't do it anymore. Fucking bullshit. Silver Surfer. Guaranteed. I would take Galactus's offer in a minute if he offered to me. Hey, listen, you got to fly around and look for planet. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. You don't even got to give me a surfboard. I'll walk. I'll walk through space, however long it takes me. I don't give a shit. Give me an eye rock. I'm Italian. Whatever works. Give me a silver eye rock. No problem.
Oh, wow. What, an 89 silver IROC Z28?
Yeah, guaranteed. Fire Lord, Destroyer, whatever. Destroyer. He doesn't talk. Probably because he used to be a nice guy, but then he had kids and he got married and it just completely turned him into a jagoff. So now he hides inside the armor and he's like, fuck it, what do I got to say? Home and get driven fucking crazy?
If anybody, again, ever asks me, oh, Pants, when are you going to have kids? I'm going to play this last 15 minutes of this episode.
Let me tell you something. It's a fucking mistake of biblical proportion. It's like Yul Brynner when he told Charlton Heston, I'm not letting these people go. Are you crazy? Fuck you. Who's going to do my laundry? I'm not fucking doing this shit myself. I don't even know how to cook. I'm not doing this shit. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, what the fuck was I thinking? When the fucking water fell on the chariots and killed all those jagoffs. You know, he's like, man, I must have been out of my mind. That's me right now. I'm Yul Brynner standing at the shore going, what the fuck was I thinking?
You can't go wrong with a Yul Brynner reference. Oh, my God.
I wish, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, but the cruelest thing about it is, like I said, you have absolutely no power. You have none. I mean, you walk in the house and you'll find something you really care about and they're just writing in it or shitting on it or ripping the pages out of it. And you go, wait a minute, that's mine. You know, and then they're like, yeah, so? You know, you're like the weak kid in high school where the bullies just pick on you and you can't do shit. And then if you do get pissed off, you know, and finally say, hey, fuck this, and turn into Fred Flintstone and start hollering, right? Then your wife goes, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like this? With some kind of a character flaw, you know, there's something wrong with you. It's a glitch, you know. Sal, I thought I knew you. You were such a nice guy when I met you. Yeah, but you whip a horse in the eye enough, and you fucking finally he kicks you. He can't take it anymore. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I really.
We charge by the hour here.
I don't have anybody to talk to. You know, I need Lucy. You know, the psychological help for a nickel in Peanuts. That's what I need. You know,
the doctor is in.
You guys have no idea right now. I'm talking to you through glass. Glass. With the holes in it, where all of a sudden I'm talking and the phone doesn't have any sound anymore. I'm putting my hand up so you can put your hand to touch my hand. That's me right now. Live for me, Peter. Live for me.
Oh my God!
You know, I'm like, you know, I'm like what's his name when fucking Tom Hanks is sitting by the tank where he tells him earn it. That's me. I'm the jagoff right now. You guys are just, you're free. Go. Goodbye. You open up the cage and you're free to do whatever the fuck you want. Me, I'm like Houdini in one of those milk cans that they throw in the fucking river. Nothing you can do about it.
You're what's his name from The Simpsons. Don't cry for me. I'm already dead.
Oh my God!
Yeah, more or less. But there's also an amazing amount of freedom in being just completely fucked. You know, where it's like, what are they going to do to me? There's nothing they can fucking do to me. Nothing. If I walk outside right now and get hit by a meteor, I'll go, yeah, pretty much. It's okay. You know?
Oh my God!
If I turn into the werewolf, yeah, I saw that coming. There's no problem. You know, I would love to turn into the werewolf just to get the fuck out of here once in a while. Wake up in a cemetery. Oh, hey. Well, at least my kids aren't driving me fucking crazy. I'm in the cemetery. Get to fuck around with the gypsy broad once in a while. What do I know?
So, okay, it's Peter. I'm sorry.
Did you celebrate a big birthday this year?
No, actually, it was last year. I'm 51. Yeah, no, I was. It was not this year. It was last year. I turned 50. So,
Okay,
but that's not the Aztec calendar. You know, right now I'm really like fucking 85. Is how I feel. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, you should have had kids when you were young." When I was younger, I could run faster. I would have got the fuck out of here. Now, forget it. Trip and fall, and they catch me. I'm like the gazelle that limps. Where am I going? I gotta hide in the bushes. Fucking cheetah will eat me.
I saw that video of you from San Diego showing the booth off. You look good.
Yeah, it was. You know, I mean, I kind of treat Comic-Con like, you know, it's like when you're getting ready for a show or something like that. You know, I really know that it's a. I mean, it really kicks my ass. I mean, physically and every other way. I honestly think there's something when you're inhaling that damn oxygen, that rebreathed air for 5 days. I honestly believe it's almost like jet lag. that it fucks with you, because it takes me a week to get over Comic-Con. I'm so damn tired. And I found in the past, you know, when I watched what I ate and I worked out and I started running again, so I treated Comic-Con this year like I was, you know, something I was getting in shape for, so that it wouldn't kick my ass as much as it does. Mm-hmm. So yeah, plus I didn't want to have to buy new suits, you know, 'cause I got 5 levels of fat suit, you know. What the fuck were you thinking? Oh my God, the Jackie Gleason collection, and my wife's maternity clothes, you know, where I'm gonna wear a fucking muumuu if I keep, you know, where your tits get so fucking big you gotta toss them over your shoulder, for Christ's sake, you know.
The Jackie Gleason collection.
Yeah, where I look like Jackie Gleason. You know, I'm just gonna wear a bus driver's uniform pretty soon. So when the lady from CNN said, "Hey, you want to be on CNN?" I said, well, you know, as long as they don't see this in certain parts of the country, I'm all right. Well, I'm wanted. I thought, you know, maybe I'll try to look like, you know. But Alex saw it and he liked it, and my ma asked me if that was me or was somebody else, because she thought it might be me, but she wasn't sure. And I go, "Yeah, Ma, it was me. I said my name at the beginning." She says, "Well, I don't know. Maybe I thought there was another guy that looked like you with the same name, Ma, that we had." Oh. That's Sally. And my wife, "Hey, did you see it?" "Yeah, it's all right. It's okay." You get that kind of reaction. "Yeah, it's all right." But, you know, the CNN people are nice. So I was happy to do it, you know. Plus, I liked the idea. I think what I liked about it was it really starts to piss me off over the years when I see people treating Comic-Con and treating, you know, this is our thing, man. This is what we do and what we love, and we don't apologize for any of it, you know. But when they start to throw the geek and there's something wrong with us, and they give it that whole, when they put that spin on it, it really pisses me off. So CNN was the producer was trying to do, you know, a few pieces that show that there's a lot of people at the show that are doing, you know, different things, from, you know, cosplay to comics to movies, but there's also people there that are selling originals, and some of it is, there's actually people there that are, you know, conducting a lot of business. So I said, okay, you know, if you're going to do something that shows, you know, the seriousness of the business, and that, you know, we're not, you know, all jagoffs that the media wants to portray us as, you know, like we're all just, you know, like we're all idiots or something, when this is, you know, something that we take very seriously and that we enjoy, and that it's, you know, been a big part of our life, then I said, okay, because I can't stand those interviews where they grab some kid, and it's usually the kid that's a little, you know, a little fucked up, and he can't defend himself. No, you know the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They can't defend themselves, and they ask him the same stupid bullshit questions, and it's not fair, and it's not funny, and they're being cruel, and they're being mean, and I don't think it's funny. And why don't you pick on somebody that can defend himself? You know, why don't you ask somebody who's actually, you know, why don't they ask Peter? You know, why don't they ask me? You know, why don't they ask one of you guys, you know, questions like that? We'll tell them to go fuck themselves. And these idiots that run around with the cameras and start to hate you live in your parents' basement, and did you ever get laid, you know, all that bullshit. Yeah. So you just finally go, hey, you know, guys, that's not funny. That's bullshit. So when they asked, hey, do you want to, you know, look like a jagoff? And then I got all the mafia references, you know. Oh, my God. You know. Like, yeah, go ahead. Comes with the territory. It was nice.
Good.
It wasn't meant to be some kind of a, hey, look at me kind of a thing. It was meant just for business.
Right.
And it wasn't, I didn't expect, you know, Kim Kardashian wanted to fuck me or anything answered, but hey. She's busy now anyway. She had a kid, so life was going to take a big shit on her real fast.
So I can't imagine that you've actually gotten out to see any of the movies this summer, then, have you?
I saw Cap, the second one.
Okay.
I actually catch up on a lot of movies when I'm at cons, because I watch them in the hotels, you know, because they'll have the ones that are still at the theater. I didn't see Guardians. I wanted to see I'm a big Planet of the Apes fan. I wanted to see the one that just came out. It was a Conquest, right? And I didn't see that, but I did see Cap. That was the last one I saw.
Okay.
And I heard good things about Guardians. You know.
Peter, did you see Guardians yet?
No, I still haven't seen
Oh.
it yet either.
Oh my goodness,
That's so much fun. Such a fun movie.
really is.
Yeah, I didn't. I got in an argument with a guy at Comic-Con because I told him I'd give it to the Green Broad. That doesn't bother me. The green. No. Same, the same with What's-Her-Face from X-Men. I'd give it to her blue. That doesn't bother me. Does that throw you off, Peter? If she was blue and it was What's-Her-Face? Who's the broad that plays her?
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence.
Is it Jennifer Lawrence? And it used to be the other one. It used to be the model.
Yeah,
Rebecca
Romaine.
Stamos, right? Yeah, she don't have to change. She could do it, with the scales, no problem. That don't throw me off. But same with the Green Brown. Although she's that's the one from Avatar, right?
Yeah.
And she was in Star Trek, and okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't keep track anymore. But yeah, I heard good things. I got to be honest. I'm a little more of a Guardians, the original guys. I didn't really follow Guardians when it came out this time, where it's got the raccoon and got the Star-Lord with the gas mask. I only know the other version. But hey, like I always say, anything with comics, if it works and it's good, I think it's great. I think it's. I want it all to do well. I really wish Marvel would get out. I mean, DC would get off their ass and kind of catch up a little bit. But because I think they got great characters. But I don't know. I'm always a big Marvel guy. Luke Cage, I know they'll fuck it up, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Well, that's right, because they have the TV series coming out next year. They're actually filming Daredevil right now.
Yep.
They have a TV show for what?
Well, yeah, next year on Netflix, it's going to be with Daredevil, Luke Cage, Alias, I think, with Jessica Jones.
I do think that.
Iron Fist.
What was that, Peter?
Iron Fist.
Right, Iron Fist, and then there's going to be a whole big Defenders.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's what I heard. I mean, I think that when you're run by Disney, I think the sky's the limit, because Lord knows they got enough media outlets and they got enough money and they got enough power to do that kind of stuff. So, I think we'll see what happens. I mean, I think everybody's waiting for the bubble to burst. I think they've had a few dogs. They've had some movies that didn't do as well as they wanted. So I don't think that's going to dictate anything. Everybody's thinking, once they have the first failure, then we're going to see what really happened. But that's bullshit. I mean, look at Green Lantern. Green Lantern, they lost their ass with it. That didn't stop anything.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man, the second Spider-Man flick, they're Sony's declaring it not a complete failure, but they're already talking about rebooting it again in 2018 because and they scrapped the Sinister Six. The idea for the sequel with Sinister Six, because I guess they felt it just didn't perform the way they wanted it to. So I think inevitably Disney's going to win. They're going to get FF back. They're going to get Spidey back. That's just how it is. They'll get them all back eventually. But this whole thing they're doing with FF now is mind-boggling. They're going to kill the whole book, and the movie's supposed to not even be the real origin, and Marvel's talking about canceling the book, and there's all kinds of shit going on now involving Fantastic Four. It's almost like a divorce proceedings, where they're fighting over bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're going back and forth with the suits to see what happens. But Disney will get it all back. I got my first Disney vacation coming up in September with the kids. I'm not going. They're going, but I'm not. I told my wife, I said, listen, when you get there, call me when you land. She's like, oh no, you're going. I'm like, me? So I'm going to see if we can, how much they're going to charge me if they can live on like the Jungle Cruise, that little island. They got to drop them off and dress them like one of the hyenas from Lion King.
The one in Florida or the one in California?
The one in Florida. And I every year I've gypped these kids out of vacations because I'm so damn busy with cons, and most of July is shot in the ass, and then August is kind of, I do Toronto, but the summer always would get away from me because it was so much prep for Comic-Con, and then the actual show itself, I'm gone, like a week and a half, and then so the last couple, and then when they were little, it's hard to take. You can't take vacations. They're babies. So now that they're full blown Transformers, I'm gonna I told my wife, I said, yeah, all right, we'll try it out and see how it goes. But just for 4 or 5 days, nothing crazy. We're not going to, stay there a month or anything because they'll throw us out. I know they will.
But isn't there like a Marvel Studios thing in Florida in Orlando?
Oh, yeah.
Should go to that.
I don't know. I mean, I think because it's the first trip, and my daughter's 3 and my son is 7. We're just going to try to not get too crazy. Not try to do too much. Try to focus on the Magic Kingdom and maybe Epcot and then the Splash Park or whatever. Just try to, because there's a lot of stuff there I'd like to see, but you know how it is with kids, man. It's impossible. It's like trying to give a cat a bath. You can't do it. trying to see all that, but I've heard there's all kinds of Marvel stuff now. In fact, the guys at Marvel, they asked, hey, if you want free passes to the park, let me know, because that's part of their deal now that they're owned by Disney. They offer all the employees free passes to Disney. So I said, we'll check it out. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been, a long time. So you guys been at all, or lately, or
not lately? We're trying to plan a trip for ourselves with the family in the next year or so, as well, as before the kids get too big to enjoy it. But like you said, we couldn't have taken them when they were too young. Yeah.
I think I don't know if my daughter's too young because she's 3, but I think I told my wife, I said, you got to treat it like you're going back. You can't treat it like you got to see everything in one trip, because then you come back and your tongue is hanging out.
Yeah.
You need a vacation from your vacation. So I said, let's not try to do too much. Let's just go and relax. And there's a lot of rides they can go on that are kid rides that I'm sure the lines aren't going to be too crazy. So we can enjoy ourselves without. And I don't know, Peter, you been lately or in the last 10 years or no?
Yeah, I was there in 2010, I think I went. 2010. But I went, the best way to go was really for like a business purpose. It was either whatever year I went to Puerto Rico too. Because we were doing research for one of the shows that they put on in the wilderness part. And
right.
The production company I'm with, we were going to create a similar kind of event, a similar show. So we made it a whole thing. We went to, I don't know where we went, like Universal or wherever Tower of Terror is, and so it was just it was 4 adults, just eating and drinking, and I didn't pay for any of it. That was the best way to do it.
Wow.
Oh man, see, that's what I'm talking about. Those are the jagoffs you hate, right there.
That's right. You're not kidding.
Pants, you been at all or no?
I went down to Epcot. I think it was 2009. The second time I went down to MegaCon down there, and we were only there for a couple hours. I had a nice time down there, but that's not really my scene to go into the park. So now that more into the Marvel stuff, I would love to go to like the Marvel park and just see what that's all about.
How does that work? Does a Marvel park is what part of?
It's part of Universal, I think.
Hollywood Disney, because they have another like they have all these satellite hotels, and they have this what's it called, Hollywood Disney.
Yeah, that
Disney
used to be
Walk
MGM.
or whatever the hell it is.
It used to be MGM. Now it's Disney Hollywood or whatever it's called. Marvel Islands of Adventures over at Universal, and it's ironic that they kind of are now owned by Disney. So Universal has some of Disney's properties inside its own studios, so to speak.
Yeah, I heard that's just until the contract's up.
Yeah.
They're going to let them. And it's all reverting over. But
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just
so.
going to go, and we're staying close. We're staying at the Contemporary, which is like one of the hotels on the the property, so that's close to get to back and forth. And we're just gonna not overdo it, because these kids, they've never been on a plane and all that shit. So I'm trying to get there in one piece.
Yeah.
Now I'll bring a gun to go through security so I can get arrested, and then I'll get pulled on a line. I'll tell my wife, I don't know. I had some plan.
It's a plant.
You guys go ahead. Don't let me ruin your vacation. Have a good time and be thinking of me. And then 15 minutes after I'm out, I'll be at the cigar store, and I'll be, watching Planet of the Apes or something. I'll go back and catch up on all the movies I missed. Like see what Michael Keaton was like as Batman or something. I don't see shit. I don't get to see anything. The summer movies, like I said, I catch up. What else did I see? I think I saw the sequel to 300, which was pretty bad. And but Cap, I liked the second Cap. I thought it was very good.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job with the Winter Soldier.
Sure did.
But I hadn't see. I heard the X-Men, the latest X-Men.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
really
Days of
good.
Future Past. That was
Yeah,
fabulous.
I heard it was really good. I hadn't seen it.
I got to do what you're talking about. I was away with my wife for a wedding, which is a rarity unto itself to go somewhere like that without the kids. It was a Sunday afternoon. It was my birthday, and my wife had to do some grading for a couple college courses that she teaches, and said, "Hey, I've got to get this done today. I know we're down here for a little bit of a weekend, but you want to go see that X-Men movie, right? Go do that while I grade." And I went all by myself. It was fabulous. It was a great birthday present.
That's one of those, That's one of those. No, I don't want to have sex with you and your friend. I just want to. I mean, that scares me. That's one of those. Where you look back and go, "What the fuck was I thinking?" Because that's the only way I can really see stuff is if I sneak and go see matinees. Because my wife will say, "No, don't see it." I want to see it too. But then, we never go. We never see the damn thing. So I just usually wait. But on demand really sucks because they never have anything.
Yeah.
They'll have like Julia Roberts movie about yoga or some bullshit. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking see this. You want to kill yourself. Or Taken 6, where they go with like, shouldn't at this point they just figure out, hey, leave the fucking guy alone? I mean, do you really got to keep fucking with Liam Neeson? I mean, it would be like, just leave him alone. I don't want him coming over here fucking with me because eventually it's going to happen. Don't any of these asshole Albanians or all these pricks in the movie ever figure out not to fuck with Liam Neeson? If it was up to me, there'd be no movie. It'd be like, it'd just be a movie about him sitting there drinking a cup of coffee because nobody wants to fuck with him. I wouldn't fuck with him. If he cut in front of me at the grocery store, I'd say, go ahead. I ain't going to fight with this guy. Hit him with my car, nothing happens. It's like, fuck. Now they're going to make another one, I heard. It's like, come on. Stop it already. But, I guess they make so much damn money on those movies that, shit, why not?
Yeah, I mean, they already announced Turtles 2 after just one weekend.
That's not a surprise. You make that kind of money, of course they're going to make another one. I mean, right now that shit all seems to just be, that's what it's it's popcorn movies. I mean, most of the movie going audience is between 18 and 25. I mean, that's who they're after. That's who goes to see. They'll see anything when you're at that age. I mean, we used to go to the show just because it's something to do on the weekend. Get the fuck out of the house.
And it was affordable then.
Yeah, but you didn't read reviews. You didn't give a shit if it was any good or not. You just went. You just went and saw shit. Bachelor Party and Forkies and all that shit. Who remembers? You see some of it now on TV and you go, my God, did this shit suck? It's like, holy fuck, was this stuff bad? Valley Girl and bullshit and Xanadu, you used to go to the show, see what kind of ass was walking around or whatever, and $20 for a bucket of popcorn or whatever the fuck it is, And it was a social event. But now they sit on their phones and they're talking shit, and I'm becoming that guy, that cranky old fuck at the theater. Well, you pay what is it to go to the show now? What, like $50?
Yeah, it seems
right for a cup for you bring your wife or your girlfriend. It's $50.
Yep.
Okay, and then I got to sit in the show and I got to have assholes talking on a cell phone behind me. I go to the show so I don't have to talk on the phone, so that I can get the fuck away from that bullshit. And then you wind up going, look at this. You want to watch the movie, and these jackass got to sit and tweet and talk shit, and ask about Taylor Swift or whatever the fuck it is. You're just like, hey, shut the fuck up, watch the movie. You know?
Yep.
Peter's usually got the answers for all this shit. He's an entertainment guy. I don't know anything.
Hey, I loved Xanadu.
Yeah, my wife's a big Xanadu. Yeah, that was one of her. That was her foolish, her guilty pleasure.
Yep.
Everyone's got one. Everyone's got that movie that they're like, holy fuck, that was my, don't make fun of it because that was the one I liked. You know,
have
and
no
hers
idea.
was Xanadu.
Yeah, Olivia Newton-John
Heck
and
yeah.
Gene Kelly dancing. Come on.
Yeah, but you get the guy from the Warriors to be in it. I mean, what the fuck were they thinking? That was like Jagoff was casting was probably blowing him at the time or something because it's like, who puts the guy coming off the Warriors to be in Xanadu?
Between
But
Xanadu,
I never thought I never thought that Olivia Newton-John was the tremendous piece of ass everybody else made her out to be anyway.
Aw, she's the girl next door.
No, yeah, but who wants to fuck the girl next door? I want to fuck her slutty sister. Girl next door. You ever see you didn't see who lived next door to me growing up? Jesus Christ. Fuck. But no, the problem with Olivia Newton-John was like she was in Greece. She was like 40 years old in high school in that movie. And, okay, sure, everybody wanted you see the album covers, and you think, oh, yeah, sure, why not? But, I don't know. To me, she wasn't the one that did it for me. I was a Raquel Welch guy. And
Sophia Loren.
No, not back that far. But just, Raquel, they needed to be a little more robust. I liked, what's her name, Rachel Ward, And Rachel Ward fucking, what's his name, the guy from Tron in the cave. She's giving it to him in the cave. Or Alex Karras breaks in on him, that kind of shit. And who the fuck else was there? Oh, well, then there's, you got I like Cindy Crawford. That whole era of people. I didn't go for Olivia Newton-John. I thought that whole shit in Greece was just a lot of propaganda. A lot of bullshit. Rachel Ward, I remember when I saw her in Sharky's Machine. Remember Sharky's Machine with Burt Reynolds?
Sure.
She plays the prostitute. I remember I was in high school. I saw that. I was like, Jesus Christ. Oh, what's her name? The one from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe Cates. There you go.
Also in Gremlins.
What a fucking tomato. Oh, like, wow. I didn't go for those other ones. Olivia Newton-John, I'll be like, she's fucking 100 years old. By the time she was in Greece, she was older than my mom. She really was. She was. I mean, I'm not saying she wasn't, I understand why everybody liked her, but I mean, she seemed too nice. You don't want, listen, your chance of a three-fingered McGilla goes up tremendously with Phoebe Cates over Olivia Newton-John. Olivia Newton-John is not going to fucking want to play Cincinnati bow tie. That's not going to work with her. She's Australian. They don't even got that shit down there.
It goes around the other way.
Yeah, it's more like a Florida bow tie. You got to fuck with the belly button or something. It doesn't work like that. Well, Olivia Newton-John, she's all nicey and she can go in that direction. But hey, you get older and it's like you don't even worry about it anymore. You see some of them now, you go, Jesus Christ. Sometimes it happens to me. My wife will take a picture of me and the kids. I look at the picture, I go, holy fuck. Phew. No wonder people look at me sideways.
Yeah, I don't like
Turn
looking at
around.
pictures.
I look like Chaz Bono at this point. I'm like, what the fuck? Because the kids, they just wear you down to a frazzle. You got nothing left. You become like, Batman in like Dark Knight, where your face is all fucked up and you're all big and fat, and got half your teeth are missing, and
No, it's worse because there's no chance you're bouncing back.
Yeah, well, no, you got to build. I got to start building shit. Like I got to build an arm, a phony arm to help me lift shit, and I need one of those things like in Aliens where when Sigourney Weaver lifts up boxes with.
Sure, the loaders.
That little. Yeah, I need one of those loaders. I need to just get inside that fucking thing. Because that's how, every time I go to lift up boxes now, your balls hurt, your ass hurts, everything hurts. Every time you take a shit, you look in the toilet, you go, what the fuck? When did I eat cabbage? You see shit in there you don't recognize. It looks like Kirby sound effects or something when you look in the toilet. You go, what the fuck? Because you reach that age now, and nothing holds together anymore. You start smelling weird, and your parents are really old, Like, you guys aren't there yet where your parents get, like, old, like, really old, where they start talking about, the turning, like, the prohibition and shit, the depression. When it was like when liquor was illegal, that kind of shit. You start hearing that, you go, oh, fuck. What a nice young man Thomas Edison was. You hear that shit, you go, fuck. I saw a picture of David Soul the other day. I wanted to fucking kill myself. I go, oh, my God, look at this guy. He looks like my high school principal now. Used to be Hutch. And now he looks like the fucking guy that delivers the flowers when you have like a plant bringing over to you from your mom's house or something. But that's what you got to look forward to, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, time is not kind.
I did try to get. They asked I remember one time I forget who it was. I think it might have been Tiziano or somebody, because Tiz, he's always the cutting edge of everything. And I asked him. He's like, hey, who do you think we should get for the con? I said, Starsky and Hutch. The fuck, man? What's better than a Starsky and Hutch reunion? I mean, who wouldn't want to see that? And I realized probably nobody except me. Because I don't think anybody even remembers Starsky and Hutch anymore.
I had a Matchbox car of Starsky and Hutch.
Yep.
All right, see? There you go. Yep. So I got at least just the four of us.
Uh-huh. That's right.
That's right. So you're going to Fan Expo this August? Well, actually, in a couple of weeks, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't been doing a lot of shows lately. Setting up, I just been focusing on my stuff at home and taking care of business on my own. But I've been so damn busy with everything else lately but I have such a good time when I go to Fan Expo, and I get a lot done in terms of the people you see and the politics of it, and I rarely get a chance to do shows anymore where I can just talk to people, and I'm not, because Comic-Con's real bad for that, because it's like a fucking airport.
Yeah.
It's too big, there's too much going on, everybody's too distracted, everybody's you got the guys that walk around, everybody's a big shot or got a business card or some bullshit. So I just find at Comic-Con, at Fan Expo, like last year was when I got a chance to talk to Marvel about, Alex, doing all the stuff for them, and I get to actually sit, one-on-one and talk to people. So, and I hang around with Jeff Darrow a little bit. We usually like to shoot the shit together, and he's a local guy. We've become good friends over the years. So, I can actually. I like to go to Fan Expo because I go as a civilian.
Right.
I'm not Alex's pimp. I'm going there just doing my own shit. Mm-hmm. And then you can talk shop. And last year I got trapped in the elevator with Joe Montana.
Oh, wow.
Here's a story for you. You know how when you're on an elevator and then the door's closing and someone's trying to make it, and you just you've got that split second where you're going to either help them or you're going to say, fuck this guy and let the door shut?
Right.
I decided to be a nice guy one time out of 50 right, and hold the door for a guy. So I hold the door, and who gets on but Joe Montana?
Wow.
I guess he was coming in for they were doing a card show or something in Toronto.
Right.
And I normally never cross the line, cross over that imaginary, line of fucking with people. I normally never do that. I'm not big on that.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave people alone. I can see somebody and go, oh, hey, I've done it on occasion, but it's got to be somebody I really, like John Buscema. I did it for because I'd never seen him, and he had such a profound impact on my life. I had to just thank him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask him for, hey, can you call me Boba Fett or any bullshit like that. I just, But with Joe, I had to say, hey, Joe, I just want to, say hi, and shook his hand, and he kind of gave me a look like, the fuck does this guy want? But still, I saw him in LA. And Toronto's a great show. They're so nice up in Canada, and the people love comics, and Tiz and the guys at Fan Expo put together such a great show, and they really know their shit, and they always have a great guest list, and everybody has a good time. So anybody who's never been, I can't recommend it enough.
Oh, it's just tremendous for the creators, the shopping, the atmosphere.
gosh, yeah.
There's something for everybody.
And it sounds like that's no big deal anymore. But I got to tell you, no knock against Wizard or any other show for that matter. But the Wizard show, I took my kid to Wizard 2 years ago. The Wizard in Chicago, the one that used to be a great show forever.
Oh yeah.
And I have no personal, vendetta or agenda against Wizard, even though I don't like what they do, because the Chicago show has turned into just a giant autograph session. And I mean, there's not even any dealers there.
Oh,
At the very least, I like to go to small shows, even the ones like out by the airport or whatever, at the Holiday Inn, because there's a lot of retailers, and I'll go buy some comics.
Oh yeah.
I'll go buy back issues or whatever. I could spend a whole afternoon just looking through, boxes of comics and shit. They don't even have that at Wizard anymore. It's all autographs. And you go upstairs, and it's like a bunch of couches and shit. They call it the lounge.
Oh,
and
my.
you're just like, they should call it the area where nobody can sell fucking booze, is what they should call it. And you go downstairs, and I know a lot of guys that still do it. And, God bless them, if they're making money in Artist Alley. But Artist Alley's gotten real small. And and then Wizard markets it like it's still the regular show. They got the Marvel logo and a DC logo on their websites, and they say there's 70,000. There's no fucking 70,000 people there. Are you kidding?
Wow.
And so, a lot of these shows have kind of fallen off, and I guess they had to because there's so damn many of them now. You got Denver, you got Florida, you got 3 in Florida, and you got Ohio. I mean, every weekend there's a show now. Every week.
Oh yeah.
So how the hell are they all going to compete? You can't. They're just like cannibalizing each other. And not only that, these shows can't all have huge budgets, so they can't all obviously bring in, Stan or a lot of the guys. But also, a lot of these guys, they're running out of gas, like William Shatner. I mean, how many times are you going to pay? No, how many times can people pay $250 to see William Shatner's hairpiece? I mean, there's only so many fucking times. Or Stan. And if you saw the rules they've got, where you got to stand behind the yellow line, you can't get anywhere near them, and you got to this and you got to that. It's like, hey, listen, I won't do that at a horror house, and I'm going to do that to stand next to fucking Stan Lee. What are you, out of your mind? I mean, it's like, I'm not at the fucking Bunny Ranch. Go fuck yourself. So, and not only that, how much money does the average guy got when he goes to a con?
Right.
And some of these people are charging, $100, $300, $500 for a signature. Okay, how much money do they got left after they pay for Carrie Fisher's autograph to buy comics or to go to Artist Alley? Because I know a lot of artists that complain. They'll say, I'll ask them how a show was, and they'll go, yeah, the attendance was good, but nobody was spending any money.
Right.
Because, a lot of it is by the time you pay to get in, and then you get there, especially if you got kids or you come with people, and you pay, they charge a lot of money for these autographs. A lot of times they don't have any money to buy comics anymore. So, I don't know. That's why I love Toronto. Yeah. Because there's a lot of comics. There's a lot of, diversity. There's a lot of great Artist Alley, from indie guys to, guys you've heard of, to jagoffs like me, And they love to come and fuck with me in Toronto. I don't know what it is about, especially when I'm on this show.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally just come over to go, hey, you're the asshole from Geek Speak who's talking about balloon knots and cornholing and tight as a nun's ass and all that shit.
Fan Expo has a great cross section too of different genres. It as many comics as it has, and it's a ton. It's not just comics. It's all sorts of
anime, horror.
Well, the other thing about it too is that like Peter, with Mocha, there's a lot of indie guys there too.
Yeah.
You find a lot of indie creators in Artist Alley. I mean, like I that's what I love about, I was at the comic store the other day, and I like to pick up some indie titles, but a lot of guys, a lot of stores, they just stopped. They don't carry them anymore. And I understand. I get if you're not selling them and it's not working out for them. I get it. But, that's what's cool about when you see guys that created the book are there in Artist Alley. Because most shows, they don't invite them. Or they find it's not worth their time. They're not selling anything. Well, but I go, and I would go, just to go. Because I really love it. And it's a great city, too.
Yeah. And to touch on something you mentioned before, I've talked to Tiz on more than one occasion, and he's astutely aware of what you mentioned about how much money does the average person have coming into the show. He's aware of, who to bring in and where to put them and what to do. So he's always thinking about the fans up there.
Well, see, that's the other thing. That's the bad rap. That's why I get frustrated when I hear people bashing Comic-Con, because I know, I've been doing Comic-Con for 20 years, and I've been fortunate enough to know, a couple of the guys that are in the know over there, and I know for a fact that when they're deciding, like say there's 10 spaces available, okay, and they're deciding who's going to get those spaces, they always, and this is always the case, they always give preference to comic people over media people or Hollywood people, first. But now, mind you, that being said, people, yeah, but what about blah, blah, blah. It's like, look, the space that was open when Devil's Due folded their tent there and decided they didn't want to set up at Comic-Con anymore, they gave it to Boom right away. That didn't become a gaming, island. That was a big space. They could have given that to Ubisoft or Activision or a lot of guys that are trying to get in there in the main aisle, but they gave it to Boom. The section over on the other side of where the Simpsons are, where Bongo Comics is, just to the left of us, they gave that huge island over to expansion to Dark Horse.
Right.
They could have given it to another one of Lucas's, one of Fox Films or Warner Films, the guys that want to expand just to pimp films. But no, they kept that one area comics, and they expanded on the comics. And they moved things around. They kind of incorporated the illustrator section with with Artist Alley. I know Simone moved over this year to the illustrator section, to try to create much more of a stronger, union of all those comic guys. So, it's like to knock them and constantly go back with that same tired ass, oh, they don't want comics, oh, it's not about comics. That's bullshit. If you tell me Comic-Con is not about comics, you're just not looking at it. You're really not looking. Because I can walk around with you for 15 minutes and show you shitloads of comics and shitloads of publishers that you don't see at a lot of shows. Now, are the other guys there? Oh, fuck yeah. I'm not crazy about all those guys either, but what are you going to do? In the end, you need Juicy Fruit, you need Charleston Chew, you need M&Ms, you need all that shit. You need Bomb Pops, you need all those jagoffs because it draws a lot of publicity to what we're doing. Because, I don't know, who the fuck knows what's going to happen to comics, especially printed comics, in the next 20 years. I don't know, because I'll be in a mental institution, but, I'll be in a fucking straitjacket, but I'm just saying that when I hear people knocking it, it's like, I could take you to cons where there's no con. Like when I was at Wizard, I wanted to buy my kid some he's into action figures and he's into comics, and I swear to you, I couldn't find him selling comics at Wizard World. One or two guys, and even then it was like flea market shit. It was just broken toys or the head's missing, and one guy, the fucking head was burned off or some bullshit. And they just don't, because, and not only that, Wizard will sell a booth to anybody. You'll see a guy there selling fucking storm windows. You'll go, what the fuck is this? You'll see a guy there, you'll see, one guy selling like mats. One year I was there and the guy was selling mats like for wrestling and shit. And I'm going, what the fuck? Because they'll just rent it to anybody. Yeah. So, now New York, another story, They're also heavy with comics, but they're also getting taken over by gaming because gaming comes in with just, crazy money. So it dilutes, the gene pool, so to speak.
Well, there's another show up in Canada that's doing an interesting thing this year, TCAF, Toronto Comics Art Festival, where, and I kind of like this because it kind of speaks to what you're talking about, sometimes an audience, if they do go to a convention and they support it every year, but it has the same creators, but they don't necessarily have new work, maybe an audience isn't going to spend money because they already have picked up whatever they have. And
right.
this convention, they put a thing out and they said, look, we want to try to flip it every year. If you were here last year, well, then why don't we're going to give preference to people who haven't been here. And next year, then you can give an application and we'll bring you back, and especially if you have new work. If you have if you don't have new work, well, maybe you want to think about saving a spot for somebody who's maybe new or just has a work that's debut. I think it's a great idea. Instead of, I know a lot of these shows, they're expanding 2 days, 3 days, but sometimes they have the same creators there, and maybe it would be more interesting to mix up your guest list as opposed to having the same people back.
Yeah. Well, it's that's why it's also cool to do certain shows where it's not as it kind of really makes a difference what part of the country and what part of the world you go for different shows, because
right.
That's what's great about Emerald. That's what's great about Toronto. That's what's great about Portland. Some of the shows, that's what's great about Mocha or even Ape, where you go to those and my God, there's shit you've never seen. There's guys you've never run across. And whereas when you do Wizard Chicago, I could tell you ones where you're running all the same jag-offs. You do Motor City, you do Philly, you do New York, you do Wizard Chicago, you do Cincinnati. You're running into all the same guys because it's pretty much the same shit. Now, New York has, in fairness to New York, the problem with New York is that it just got so much A-list talent that lives in New York.
Right.
So if you're just a guy on the fringe, you're in a lot of trouble trying to get in there, because that's the big time. That Artist Alley list is Neil Adams and Buzz and guys that, all the guys that work in the industry all live right there. So you're competing against seasoned pros. So, Comic-Con, bad example, because Artist Alley is just pretty much invite only, and yeah, you're right. They kind of are going to cash out on smaller guys, but they got small press. And I tell guys all the time, go in on a booth on your own, but not every con is made for every creator. I mean, if you're an indie creator, it's tough, man. I mean, it's tough selling a book, period. So, it's not always about, I didn't get into New York. Maybe not yet, but if you start smaller, you start at Ape, where people actually go there seeking out, because I know as an indie creator, it's an uphill battle, and it's an uphill battle from the start of comic stores. Don't want to have a fucking thing to do with you when you're an indie creator. They say they do, but they have got a hard enough time selling the main titles. So when people go, I've been trying to get into, New York, I've been trying to get into, well, New York just started that other show in June, that's open strictly just for comic creators.
Right.
No exhibitors, no retailers, just comic artists. Now, I heard it was great on Saturday. I heard Sunday was not so good. Well, that's a first-year show.
Right.
Give it 5 years. Shows generally need 5 years to know whether they're going to have legs or not. You got Boston, you got Denver, you got Salt Lake. These I've heard good things about all these shows. I've heard good things about the shows like in Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Or Fan Expo, the smaller one they do in the spring. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't want to be the little fish with a lot of big guys, because you're just going to get plowed over. You don't want to be next to Sienkiewicz if you're an upstart, a guy starting out, because guess what? They're not going to go in there. You got to be realistic. They're not going to spend any time with you. Now, mind you, I've seen shows where a lot of guys, they're really, meat and potatoes guys. They're guys that, I mean, quite frankly, there are guys there that are like fucking beginners. That really have to be realistic, that you look at their work and you go, yeah, okay, listen, I wish you nothing but the best, but when you're sitting next to, Chap Yap or some of these other jag-offs that have been in the business forever and a day, look at me, I'm a perfect example, okay? When I go without the fucking cape on, I'm just a jag-off. I am a world-class jag-off when I go to Toronto. You know why? Because they put me next to Jeff Darrow, and they put me next to Steve Epstein, or they put me next to Brian Boland, or they put me next to, Tim Sale. Nobody gives a fuck about me, because they're all there to see Tim Sale, or they're to see, guys that, and I'm realistic. I understand that, I sit there and I do my own thing. Now, or they put me next to guys that are whoever's popular, so I'm realistic about it. I'm not there with Alex. I'm not there. So, and it's the same way when I want to do a con, they don't give me shit. They don't pay for my hotel. They won't pay for my flight. I go there on my own dime when I go to Toronto. I mean, Tiziano's a close friend of mine, but he doesn't give me anything for free, because I'm not, doing my little dance. They want big name fucking guys. So, to address what you're talking about, Peter, smaller guys, upstart guys, they're better off doing different shows and then working their way up to New York. Because I know guys that do shows, they come out from Italy or wherever, or different parts of the world, to go to Comic-Con, and they come out of there and they lose their ass. They're like, oh my God, Comic-Con was so terrible. And I'm like, well, because nobody ever fucking heard of you. I mean, you got to be realistic. You can't show up and fucking, play Sugar Sugar from the Archies and think you're going to fucking beat the Beatles. What's the matter with you? You can't fucking be Foghat and have one song, Full for the City,
Slow ride,
and play a 2-hour, do a 2-hour version. You got to be realistic. When you're up against fucking, Procol Harum or one of those Jagoffs, Steve Miller Band, or Jay Giles Band, it's like, so when I hear guys go, Comic-Con. Now, Comic-Con's a real bad example because the Artist Alley has just turned into, a pig fuck of, like, just not enough spaces for a lot of people that want them. Right. And, you got to play that game. You got to get on the list, and the list takes forever. But, my God, if you want to get out there as an artist, there's fucking cons. I mean, my God, how many cons you guys got within 100 miles of you right now?
Oh, plenty.
Right? I mean, and it's insane. So when creators go to me, I want to go to New York. Well, yeah, New York's a great con to do because you can go up and visit DC, you can go see Marvel, you can, but you're competing against all the Jagoffs now when you go to New York. I mean, all the Europeans come in for that show. And all that Eurotrash that steal American jobs come in for that show. Yeah, why we don't hire more Americans here, I have no fucking idea. Because, we don't got anybody that can draw here. We got to go hire fucking foreigners. And everybody gets mad at me when I say that, but I'm like, well, then why the fuck don't foreign publishers ever hire Americans? They stick with, French publishers only hire French artists. I know because they tell me. Panini, they only hire Italians. They won't hire Americans. When the fuck have you ever seen an American artist in an Italian comic? Never. So when they come over here, and only we have this, this inferiority complex of we got to hire foreigners, to make a book look saucy. Swamp Thing needs to be done by a foreigner to, for people to really get it. That's bullshit. But don't get me started. I don't want to get all the hate mail from Simone and fucking what's his name, the French Picat or any of those guys.
Well,
like who's the black guy, the French guy?
Lily Coipel.
Yeah,
Coipel, super nice guy, sweetest guy you'll meet, but he's French. Hey, fucking hire American. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry. I just think that, I know a lot of American artists that, I think this is our thing. And, I know when I'm over in Europe, they won't give an American guy a break, They keep, and there's nothing wrong with that. They got a lot of pride, in French artists. They got a lot of pride in Italian artists in Italy. There's nothing wrong with that. So where do we fall off with that? I don't understand.
It's a lot like the theater world. There are a lot of people vying for a very small percentage of jobs. It's
well, yeah, but Peter, why the fuck every time I see an interview, whether it's Walking Dead or a Marvel movie, they got an English accent in the interview, but in the movie they sound like a hillbilly? You mean to tell me we don't have anybody in this country that could have played those parts on Walking Dead that wasn't a fucking American? I mean, I was at Vancouver and I was in the green room with the broad, the one who's fucking the Chinaman. And Walking Dead.
My God. Lauren Cohen.
Okay?
yes.
She starts talking. She sounds like a Star Wars villain.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck? I thought she was just like the girl next door. You want to wear her ass for a hat. And now she starts talking and she sounds like she's going to go out and have tea. And I'm going, why do we got to hire all these fucking English bastards and all these foreigners? What's wrong with Americans? There's no American actors out of work, Peter? Come on.
There's plenty. You're talking to
So
one
that's
of
what I'm talking about. Why can't we hire more Americans? That's all I'm asking.
Well, now
you don't. They don't want Americans to play Shakespeare. Okay, that's their thing. I understand. I don't want foreigners to play hillbillies. So what's wrong with that?
Well, you're going over. I assume you're going over to Luca later on this year for the big show, right?
Not after this conversation.
Well, I love. Don't get me wrong. I love the Italians and I love the French, and I mean, I think that it's the greatest, probably the single greatest part about comics is the fact that they're so revered in all these countries. I mean, not even more than here. Here, you know, you say comic book, people put the right away. You know, it has the reputation of being like for kids, or we haven't grown up, or there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? Or there's some kind of a flaw where we're still. In Europe, it's considered a legitimate art form. Artists are revered. I mean, they love comics in France and in Spain and Germany and, you know, in Italy. And so it's one of the coolest things that ever happened is the fact that I can go to other countries and do comic shows, and they're just nuts about comics. And to feel it, you know, it's like in Canada. Canada's like that. You really get a strong sense of how much they love comics in Canada. You know, they're not there just for, you know, whatever. Yeah, sure, there's a lot of people there to see, you know, Cheryl Ladd or whoever the fuck's there. But there are more there about the comics. They're more there about the stuff that they love. But Luca has become just, I mean, it gets worse every year. I mean, they broke 230,000 people last year.
Oh,
I mean, it's insane.
Wow.
Because it just keeps getting bigger every year, and they've expanded it, you know, it's the equivalent of if they had Comic-Con, but it was all in downtown San Diego. You know, it was throughout the gas lamp. That's what it's like.
Wow.
Because they have tents all over the village of Lucca, so it's spread out throughout the entire village. So there's just a lot more people now than there ever were. And we went, you know, this will be our 10th year. And, you know, it started as kind of like, okay, you know, it was all right. But we're kind of getting it figured out now where we hire locals and we got, you know, Tiz pretends like he translates. You know, Simone is there breaking everybody's balls, and, you know, it's that type of thing. But, you know, anybody who's never been, I can't recommend it enough. I mean, even just from a comic standpoint, a lot of great stuff. You got to like the foreign stuff, but there's a lot of great stuff, you know. And all the American stuff is translated, you know, into Italian. But good show, man. A lot of diversity. They even got the Hong Kong guys now. You know, manga's big out there. Walking Dead, they just translated into Italian. It's doing really well over there through Soleil. We're usually set up next to, you know. Plus, they still do a lot of art books out there, which is cool to see. You know, lots and lots of books that are just art. You know, portfolios and things like that. Mm-hmm. That stuff that died here. You know, like in the 70s. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're art portfolios, or it's like 5 pieces in a folder of, you know, Conan or whatever. Each one's got I know Gary Gianni's doing a Game of Thrones one and things like that. So, you know, very cool stuff you see that you never see here. And then Customs takes it away when you try to bring it. You know.
Well, see,
plus over there, even the ugly girls are hot. You know, it's that type of thing.
Maybe that's your answer to what you were saying before. Is, you know, maybe American comic fans, we don't treat our comics seriously enough, or we maybe we have an outlook on the way we read comics that a lot of the foreign markets they don't like, you know, because they treat them seriously, like you're saying. They, you know, the portfolios and this and that, and here, you know, fans can be really, and I'm talking about low grade fans. I'm not talking like us. You know,
it's culture too,
fickle.
Peter.
Yeah,
it's culture
it's all
too.
Culture. Yeah,
it's not just comic fans, because comic fans, yeah, okay, you can argue people worry about the comic market here because of the age of the average comic, you know, reader. They worry that it's kids don't read enough comics. But when you're at Lucca or at Angoulême, you know, you see Kids Day, Sunday. They let all the kids in free. And New York started to do that a little bit, and I've seen it done at other shows. But you see lots of kids at shows because their parents get them reading comics. And what's great about it is comics is still the only media that I know of right now, the only form of entertainment for kids. We get these kids to read. You know, video games, they don't read. Television, they got cable, they got a million different outlets. But it's also a situation where just culture in general, our culture, the American culture, does not respect comics the way they do overseas. And overseas, when you're in Paris, they've got comics about everything. I mean, a small segment of it is capes. They call it capes, which is the stuff we have. I mean, they have Westerns over there that sell 100,000 copies. You know, they have 10 Western comics. They have sci-fi. They have everything you could think of. And just a small segment of it is superheroes, which is what's cool when you see books over there. You're like, wow, they love the American West. You know, they love manga. They love all different types of books. And you think, man, you know, we're missing a boat over here on a lot of this stuff, not having kids read more of this stuff because they're getting spoiled with their phones and their texting and their bullshit, and you wonder how much reading they do. You know, my kids, they love the iPad. You know, and I try to get them to read more comics, but yeah, good luck with that. You know, like trying to take a shit at New York Comic Con, it just doesn't happen. You know? Got to go shit in a toll lot. You know, but I did go shit in a toll lot. I'm sorry. I lied. I walked in. I said, "Hey, you guys got I got a 72 Cutlass, a green one. I'll be right back. Is this your bathroom?" Be right out. And I went in there, and it was not pretty, man. It was bad. You know, when we eat at Carnegie Deli like 3 days in a row, hot pastrami, and then you're standing around, and it's one of those hold it in shits. You know, you've been holding it in all day.
Oh,
and then finally, it's just like, forget it. It's like a tsunami. It's just ready to go, man. There's just nothing left. Your ass is just white hot when you're running out of there. And you got you're real short with your steps and your words because you don't want to lose concentration. Because, you know, one little loss in concentration and it's Play-Doh Fun Factory all over again. You know, down your fucking leg.
What shape is it that's coming out?
Yeah, so I I went to the bathroom, and the line for the fucking bathroom at Comic-Con it's bad news. It was like, you know, it was a line for fucking Van Halen tickets. I go, fuck this. So I ran across the street to the toll lot, and I'm like, hey, how are ya? They're bringing them in, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I got to right for the bathroom. And the bathroom was something out of Midnight Express. It was not, you know, this was not like clean porcelain with the little guy with the broom. No. This was like a hole in the ground. You know, when you look down there, it was like Thunderdome. You know, it was like fucking Barter Town. Who run Barter Town? It was a little midget on top of the guy's shoulders in the hole. Fucking Master Blaster. It was bad. It was real bad. But I didn't care. Because I told you guys before, my mutant powers, I could shit anywhere.
That's right.
Anywhere. In a hat, you know, somebody's pocket. I don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. You know, you just get to a point where it's like, you know, you reach an age. I love guys my age that still have a problem shitting like in a strange toilet. You know, you're like, really? I mean, isn't it kind of when you got to go, you got to go? You know, you don't want to, but it's got to happen. You know, that kind of thing. It's like, whatever. You know, I don't worry about it. You know, I'm not like a cat. You know, it's got to be a little bowl, a little box, certain place, and, you know, that kind of shit. You just got to, and part of being a grown-up is you just got to do stuff, you know. And what's going to happen? A hot chick's going to walk in? I mean, come on. Meet Shakira in the bathroom. Give me a break.
Yeah, she'll walk up. I was waiting for you.
Yeah. I'm like Peter Frampton at this point. Nobody can recognize me anymore. When you see me, he goes, "That's Sal." He used to be a good-looking guy. What the fuck happened to him? I don't know. He started shitting in public, and you know. You might. I mean, I'm one of them guys. If you were at a party with me, there's always a good chance you'll turn a corner into a gangway and you'll see me taking a shit. Hey guys, how are you? If somebody was in the bathroom, you know, you'll see me shitting in a teapot or something anyway, in a spackle bucket, or you know, got one of the guys' plants. Because you know, there was somebody in the bathroom. What do you want me to do? You know? I was that guy. You'll see me like in a mall, you know, where I park the car like on the far side of it, where you just see me like out there shitting. You know, I couldn't make it, guys. I'm sorry. You know, he was like a tree branch. I'm like, because people ask me if I'm Chris Christie all the time. I'm like, yeah, you the guy?
Oh,
You that guy? That or Jackie Gleason. Are you Jackie Gleason? You supposed to have a bus? Are you? After I did that CNN thing, I cannot tell you how many people. My asshole brother, he's like, you look just like fucking Jackie Gleason. He's like, Jesus Christ. I was like, hey, what do you want me to do? You know? You still live in denial you're going to lose weight and get your shape back from, I'm going to buy a red Torino with a white stripe down it.
Hey, even Pants is getting in shape lately. He's losing that bacon belly of his.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pants, what are you doing with yourself now? I mean, you still living in the same place. You still living in in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, same spot. Yeah, still.
No, I don't know. I mean, sometimes, and you got to remember now. Sometimes I don't talk to you guys for a while because we don't see each other as many times as we used to.
I guess last time I saw you
Peter,
was up at Fan Expo. Yeah.
Yeah, I see you guys on Facebook. I follow what you guys are doing on Facebook, but that's about it.
No, yeah, I'm still living home, working Toys R Us. And...
I thought you had problems over there.
Well,
you were embezzling toys or some bullshit.
They're
shit like
true, but
I mean, no, everything's fine. Everything's wonderful.
I thought you cornholing somebody in the fucking Hello Kitty section or somebody. They were playing Balloon Dot and Find the Three-Finger Magilla on the fucking Peppa Pig section or some shit like that.
Everything's good. But, like Peter said, I've just been watching, well, not to bring the show down, but, ever since once Jamie passed, the guys had a talk with me and said, hey, Pants, you need to take better care of yourself. And I have. Yeah. I've lost almost 30 pounds in 3 months.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That happened with the guys that I know after Mike Turner died. A lot of guys I know when Mike Turner passed, because Mike Turner was just like Jamie, sweetest fucking guy you'll ever meet.
Right.
And a lot of guys it hit him, it kicked him in the ass. Where they're like, hey, you had a couple guys at Aspen that were big guys, like Peter. I don't know if you ever seen Peter.
Peter Steigerwald, is that?
A huge guy. Yeah. He lost a lot of weight. He looks great.
Wow,
I see him now. He looks like fucking Don Ho. Look at him. Like sings Tiny Bubbles and walks around with an ascot. I'm like, look at this fucking guy. And a lot of that, it kicks you in the ass. Mm-hmm. It happens. Yeah. Different things in different people's lives. You lose people close to you, and you start to take different stock of your life. Yeah. I when I had the kids, when I got married, and had the kids. My wife was like that on me. She's like, look, I want you to be around because you got to watch, be with the kids and blah, blah, blah. So I try, man, but I got to tell you, once you turn the corner, it's so fucking hard to lose weight. Yeah. I mean, it just doesn't want to come off anymore. I try everything. And, you make little strides here and there, but, I cut way down on it. I don't smoke cigars anymore. Once in a while. I drink hardly at all because, maybe once in a while at a show. But, I still like the salt. That's the problem. I still fall prey to to the salty foods once in a while. But you really got to. But how old are you now, Pants? What are you, like 21?
Oh, I wish. I'm 44.
Oh yeah. See, now's a good time.
Yeah,
now's a good time. You're still a young guy. Once you turn 50, forget it, man. It's like your metabolism slows down to a crawl. It's so hard to lose weight over 50.
Yeah, I'm amazed at the progress I've made just by doing only little things.
Yeah.
I haven't even started an exercise program yet. That's coming soon. When I get to that, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, little things too, man. You cut out pop and.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
You cut out fast food.
Did that too.
Eating after a certain time, eating after 7 o'clock.
Everything you say, I've done so far. Yes.
Little things like that change a lot, man.
Absolutely.
Eating more fruit. I've done.
Well, I haven't done that yet.
And if I eat after
more fruit, you haven't had run into problems in your ass yet. Wait till you turn 50 and you're fucking shitting tax. Then you got to eat more roughing.
Yeah, my fiber intake's much higher.
Yeah, you're indigestion. You can't. You get sick. You can't eat that stuff anymore. Nope. You can't eat processed foods as easily anymore. You get an upset stomach. You don't feel good, or So then you gotta kind of start. All right, all that shit they've been talking about all these years about eating healthy. That starts to become important in your life. I mean, if you don't smoke and you don't drink, that's huge.
Yeah.
My doctor, when I went in for my checkup, he's like, look, most guys when they turn 50, they started smoking. Who smoke? Usually you start in your 20s, and by the time you're 50, you've been smoking 25 years. And have you ever seen what a chest X-ray looks like? The guys that smoke,
Yeah.
for 25 years. That takes 10 years. I mean, you ever seen guys you went to high school with that are heavy partiers? I ran into a girl I went to high school with that fucking got a face like a catcher's mitt, for Christ's sake. Because they smoke and they drink, and it takes its toll, over time. It accelerates the aging process when you smoke and drink a lot. So, it's one of those things where you got to take care of yourself, man.
Yeah. Just done a little thing so far, and so far so good.
Peter must be easy because you're always working out, right, Peter? Because of your job.
Well,
So,
yeah, to some degree.
But,
we're all getting ready for this race, so that is definitely.
Oh yeah, right. How's that going?
Actually, is only the race actually already happened as this goes online?
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
When are you guys putting this up? Like Christmas?
No, I want to put it up on Monday to give it a full week exposure for the big 1,500 episodes. So,
that's nice. Yeah, I gotta chime in. Which one of you guys is in the most trouble? Who needs the most money? That's the guy I help out here.
Well, let me see here. I think that might be Shane.
Who's been
actually,
the fucking laziest?
That's me.
Who's been, because I raised a lot of money for my sister, for breast cancer, and I did that fucking 60-mile walk for my sister.
Wow.
Biggest fucking mistake of my life. Oh my God! Because I found out later on I could have just given the money. Or I could have done the 2-day, or I could have done the 1-day. But I walked 60 fucking miles in 3 days.
Wow.
Phew.
Okay? And I'm not kidding. And and the thing about it was, for breast cancer. And I felt, hey, I really wanted to do this for my sister. But my God, it was like, what the fuck was I thinking? It was like, I still haven't recovered. And it was like, 5 years ago that I did it.
Wow.
And it's like, you raise money, you get sponsors and all that. But, I should have just done the 1-day. I could have raised just as much money and walked 20 miles instead of walk. And it was all women. There was like 3 guys. It was all women in the breast cancer, with the pain and and I was just like, Jesus Christ, if I was single, it would have been beautiful. But, because you're the only guy. Honest to God, there was like 20,000 people walking. There was 2 guys, and a couple of them were dykes. You couldn't even tell what they were. But the rest of them, the other one was me. And I was just like, what the fuck? And it was bad. It was bad. It was just like, holy fuck, did it kick my ass? And I trained for it and did all that stuff, but no, I was gonna. I've been watching what you guys are doing with Jamie's site, so I want to chime in and donate a bunch of money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually, it's through Live Strong. It's Jamie's Avengers. It actually looks like Kevin is the lowest of the Geek set. Well, he came in kind of late.
You know what?
Kevin
I
and
never
Chris.
talked to Kevin. Fuck him. You know what I mean? It's gotta be you 3 guys, or fuck the rest.
Well,
of
then it would be Shane.
Yeah.
Then. It would be Shane.
Yeah. The rest of those assholes don't like me anyway, so fuck them. They treat me like I'm Ben Affleck being Batman or some shit. It's like, fuck out of there.
And actually, I
love the guys that, and then some of these guys you see them, you're like the geeks, and you're like, some of these guys haven't been on the show in like 20 years. And they're going on, oh yeah. No, I remember. You remember my daughter, when she was just born, you see them now, they're like 30. What?
Yeah, actually, it's weird. Actually, the top 2 leaders for raising money is myself and Peter.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very pleased by that. And very, very honored.
Peter puts a lot of updates up, too. He updates how he's doing with his training.
He's doing the whole
but
Twitter
Peter,
thing.
My money would be that Peter would be the easiest fucking guy to finish. My God. The guy's been a dancer as long as I know him.
Yeah.
But it's got to be different than running. Right, Peter? Or is it just a whole different thing?
Oh, yeah. I'll finish, but I'm not. I think Brian's going to do it because he weighs 80 pounds. But
yeah,
the
Brian,
ring's going to come push him along.
He'd carry Brian like a waiter across the fucking finish line. Jesus Christ. He's like him and Brian Azzarello, in an arm wrestling contest. Couldn't beat my niece. They're so fucking skinny.
No, I don't.
Brian, you better not run over a grate. Fucking fall right through that son of a bitch. Who's he, kid?
Yeah, he keeps getting thinner and thinner, man. Whew.
What's he doing now? He's changing jobs again? What's the story with that?
I don't know. We'll find out this weekend.
Yeah.
And is he doing all right?
Don't count Matt out. Matt and Adam.
No.
Adam's a runner.
Adam's been running since high school.
Yeah.
And then the other jagoff, where's he living now?
Well, with Deemer?
Yeah.
Yeah, Deemer's down closer to Philadelphia, in Ardmore.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But not at the same gig he had originally. He's got another job now, or what?
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's even said he's got a new one lined up
A
very
new
soon.
one since the new one.
Yeah.
Good for him. And he was fixing up the house, wasn't he?
Oh,
yeah.
That's still going on.
Yeah, that shit never ends, man.
No, it doesn't.
That's like a cruel. That's a cruel fucking joke when you start working on houses. Jesus Christ. I did that with my mom's house. Oh fuck. I mean, it's like the Russian roulette scene from The Deer Hunter when you start working on a house. It's just fucked up. You know, you keep thinking you're done. You're going to fucking Home Depot at 2 a.m. to get nails and shit. And you blow your nose and there's plaster and
Yeah.
take a shit and there's fucking glue guns and all kinds of sick shit you find. I wouldn't do it again if my life depended on it. Honest to God, that's how much of a miserable experience working on a house. I rehabbed the kitchen. In my mom's dining room and her living room one time. 14 layers of fucking wallpaper you got to scrape off.
Yeah.
And oh man, that's I will not do that shit anymore. I just hire somebody.
I love demolition. I'm not so keen on finishing.
Yes. Well, because when you get it, you see, here's how it works. When you get it, it always starts with a woman. Is how it starts because it's we. You know, we need to do this, and then we don't mean we's like a fucking French word for go fuck yourself when it means fixing up the house, because we means I'm the jagoff on the ladder at 2 a.m. painting shit where they go, oh no, it doesn't look so good over there, you better stop because I like the salmon color a little bit, and you're just like, well then pick up a fucking brush and get up here and help me, because we're always the jagoffs doing it, always. And that's why I learned, oh, you know what, I really think we should redecorate in here. No, just say me. Redecorating means Sal's going to have to do it all. Because women like to watch those shows where it's the two gay guys stripping woodwork and they turn a firehouse into a that all seems cute. Right? Picking out what kind of coasters and shit. That's what they're good at, right? Not the actual scraping, carrying in drywall, fitting shit in, why the fixtures leak. You know, you're the jagoff that has to do that. Get up at 6:30 and deal with a fucking contractor who don't speak English, and the two assholes that hook the light up wrong. And then your wife's going, well, how long is this going to take? Don't you think this is getting? And now you know how the Panama Canal got built by men, because no women were there to fuck with them. Because if there was one Panamanian broad there, I guarantee they'd have to take the boats all the way around South America right now. Because it would never got done. It would have never gotten done. They would have said, you guys aren't going to cut down these trees, are you? I really like these trees. You know, I had a birdhouse in one of these trees, so tell the boats they have to go around. I don't want them to cut through here. So when my wife says, oh, you know, we really ought to I go, yeah, well, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me what you want to do. Because I just call a painter. I go, call a painter. Because I'm not going to be that jagoff that does it. Because then if you get one little spot on something, oh, did you see what you got on my mother's dresser? That's paint on my mother's dresser. You know, and you go, yeah, well, get the turpentine, and get it off. You know, what do you want from me? So that's why I don't do shit anymore. When they start with me of, oh, we need to do this, I go, oh, no, count me out. Count me out of this shit, man. You know, I don't want to do it anymore. I can't. I'm too old. Plus, you get to the point where you're too old for that shit, man.
That's right.
You know, you just can't do it anymore. You know, I can't be that jagoff up on a ladder anymore. I went that route, and it's horrible. You know, all those shows with the Bob Vilas and all that bullshit. Oh, it's all bullshit.
Oh yeah, they make you think it's so easy.
It's all propaganda created. Same with Home Depot. You walk through there for an hour and a half, you can't find anybody to help you. You walk around, you're walking in circles. And now I noticed in the back, they just got the shit where you just pay them to do it. You notice how it's turned into that?
Yeah.
You know, it used to be all, if you could do it yourself. Now they don't say that anymore. Now they don't say you do it yourself. Now they say, hey, pay an asshole is what the name of their advertising campaign is. You know, pay the Polish guy that lives at the end of the block because he paints. He's awesome. You can't even tell he painted when he's done it there. Guy painted my porches. The fucking guy was done before I even woke up. I got up in the morning. I go, what the fuck happened to all my flower pots? He took them all off and painted both porches before I even scratched my ass. Me, I'd still be working on them, Peter. I'd do one picket a day. I'd go, oh, I'm getting there. No, just start, because you got to scrape. I love the part, first, you know what you got to do? You got to scrape all this off. And I'm like, scrape off what? Paint? To paint over it? I'm like, fuck that. By the time this strips, I'll be out of this house. I don't give a shit. By the time all this flakes off, I'm not stripping shit. Oh, well, Sal, then I can't guarantee this paint's going to last you more than 5 years. 5 years? Are you kidding? I'll be in jail in 5 years. Don't worry about it. Just paint. You know, same with the stove. We go to buy a stove. Yes. Do you want the convection? Or I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What convection? What, around this house? Just give me the one that looks the best and let me get the fuck out of here. You know, convection. Who are you kidding? Time for this bullshit. Now I know why my old man never said shit. Now I know. I figured it out. Because he probably disliked us all so much. You know? Now I know where the poor fucking guy wound up going to work and never coming home. Because he had a jag off like me to come home to. That's why. I didn't see my father until I was like 20. Like, oh, there's my dad.
Where you been?
Yeah, there he is. He went out for ice. There he goes. There he is. Poor fucking guy. You know, because it's like and I can only imagine the shit my mother must have put him through.
Oh my goodness!
Just walks back in. I got the ice.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody buys ice anymore. You ever notice that? It's not one of those things we fucking need anymore. Somewhere along the line to go out and buy ice shit just died. It just doesn't happen. For some fucked up reason.
Oh,
People just finally said, who the fuck needs ice?
Oh my goodness, Sal. Anything else on your mind at all?
Have we started recording yet, or no? I thought I was waiting for you to tell me we were going on. I don't know. What do I have to say? I don't listen. You got to understand one thing about me. This is what you got to understand something about me. I don't know shit. That's all I know. The more I know, the less I fucking understand what the fuck is going on. I'll go to Toronto, all right, and I'll sit there with a finger in my ass for 4 days and love every minute of it. Just sitting there. Drawing, laughing my ass off every time somebody comes and asks me, you know, am I the guy from the Honeymooners? That's it. You know, I don't need big lines. I don't need. You get a couple of those Canadians, they'll come up and ask me to tell a shit story or something. That's about it. So, and then you guys will have me on probably this time next year. Oh. I don't have any time for Peter. You listen. They're nice to me now because you're on the phone. But normally, Pants is like, "How the fuck can I have this guy on again? I don't know if this bullshit." You know. And I love the way people ask me. They're like, "Sal, what's wrong with you? What happened to you? I used to like you. You were on Comic Geek Speak. How come you never go on anymore?" I'm like, what am I, Elvis? I don't fucking know. It's not my show. But I'm like, well, I'm in negotiations with Geek Speak, guys. We need to come to creative terms of when I'll be on next. I'm like, they fucking ask me to go on. I just tell them what time. That's it. Yeah. Where am I going? All these other podcasts, they want you to fucking come on, but they don't know what day, they don't know what time. I never even heard of the guys, so I tell them to go suck a dick. You know, honest to God. They go, Sal, listen, I have a podcast, but it doesn't have a name yet, and I haven't started it yet. Do you want to be on it? I'm like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Is it like an imaginary friend? And you want me to come to your house and have a puppet show? What the fuck are we going to do here? I'm like, what am I going to sit there and talk to myself? Fuck out of here.
Oh, my God.
Or some of them, we wanted to ask you what you thought about Tony Stewart. And I'm like, what? Who? Guy from, do you watch NASCAR at all? And I'm like, do you guys know who the fuck I am? Okay? Do you know who I am? Do you know how little I know about anything that doesn't involve Conan and Odin or somebody with a fucking, an animal that talks or some shit like that? I don't know anything about that stuff. I don't even know who the fuck the president of the United States is, for Christ's sake, I still think it's that bald black guy from that movie with the French broad with Bruce Willis. I don't know who the fuck anybody is.
Jesus Christ. That went far.
That fucking... Remember when he was driving a cab and he was sticking it to that French broad with the red hair who was an alien?
Fifth
What
Element.
the fuck was her name?
Oh.
There you go.
Mila
Fifth Element.
Jovovich.
Yeah, right. Okay, there you go. I'd give it to her. She's French, I think. I don't know where the fuck she's from. She sounded French. All those aliens sound French to me. I don't know what the fuck they're saying. But Bruce Willis was giving it to her in the cab. That's what I'm saying.
I was watching that the other day. The kids walked in like, what is this?
Yeah, and in the movie, the bald black guy's president.
Yep.
I always thought he was president. And they said, we got a black president. I said, yeah, the guy from Fifth Element. That's the fucking guy. The fuck do I know? I went to public schools. I don't know shit. Talk shit about me all the time.
I don't want to stop. I want to keep going.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll be serious.
No.
My wife after this she'll go, you did it again. Didn't you? You were on there and you were talking shit to those guys. I bet you were, right? I'm like, no. We get on and we talk about calculus, and we were going over.
We're very topical.
Over global warming, and Peter wanted to talk about Bob Fosse versus Gene Kelly. They're different schools of that type of choreography. And then Pants went into where the toy market's going presently. It's oversaturated. That's what we talk about. What the fuck you think we talk about? People, 99 times out of 100, they fuck with me. They get exactly what they were asking for. Talk about cocks, balls, shitting.
Three-finger
Alex
McGillis.
Ross, a little bit of Alex Ross, and the rest of it is just, cornholing. That's all we talk about. Roman helmets, shit like that.
Arms akimbo.
Arms akimbo.
Pasadena
Alabama
Mudslide.
shooters. Yeah, there you go. Grumpy Munchkins. David Copperfield. That kind of shit.
Windy City Rumbler.
Yeah, of course. Fucking, Three-Finger Magilla. It's all good. What's the cheapest place to get hookers in TJ? All that stuff. Where else are we going to talk about that shit?
What was the one story with the chick from the Bengals?
Yeah, right. Jane, who the broad from fucking, the Go-Go's?
The Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's. That's
yeah,
it.
Jane
Weedland.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Jane Weedland. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. No, she's one of the few people who will actually tell you, yes, she does know me. Because we were stuck in a van going to Travis Charris's party at San Jose about 1 million years ago.
Yep.
And her friend was driving, and the fucking guy was stone cold, was drunker. We let him drive because we thought he wasn't drunk, because me and Buzz and her, and it was a van full of fucking couple of Mexicans that were trying to sneak across the border in the back of the van. And we thought he was, he was the guy most sober, so we were being all responsible. We let him drive. We get to the hotel, we find out this guy was more fucked up than any of us. He didn't even know who Jane was when we got there. Well, he thought she was the broad from fucking Jefferson Airplane by the time we got to there. But Jane's a sweetheart. She had lots of good cornholing stories about Duran Duran and all the MTV years of all the, fist fucking and strap-ons and all that shit they did back then. Hey, because I told her, I said, listen, I don't want to hear about how you wrote fucking Vacation or any of that bullshit or the all-girl band. I want to hear about all that fucking, the Caligula shit that went on.
All the stuff we don't know about.
Yeah, all that sick shit I want to hear about.
Oh.
But you with the Vienna Boys Choir, with the midget, and all that other sick shit.
I can watch MTV News for the boring stuff.
Yeah, and she had good stories. You know, she had some good stories. She's actually at Comic-Con every year.
Yeah.
Well, not lately. She's been touring with the Go-Go's, but the last few years before that, she's good friends with the guys over at Bongo.
Yeah, with like Bill Morrison, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, with Bill. Bill's a great guy, and she's tight with him and brings her over, and usually we shoot the shit for a little while. If you didn't know who Jane was, completely unpretentious, the sweetest person you'll ever meet. Honest to God, most down to earth. You know, none of that Hollywood bullshit. You know, real sweetheart of a gal. Likes to talk shit too. likes to talk about cocks and balls and all that shit. She can afford to with all the royalty money she gets. Because you know, she wrote most of those songs. So you know that was mostly her Go-Go's. You know, the other ones were just walking around, you know, playing Stinkfinger. She was the main Go-Go. I'm sorry, guys. We eventually come all the way back again to Stinkfinger. You know, goes back.
Full circle.
But I didn't talk shit about Tiziano this time, so that he'll be disappointed in that. 'Cause he always calls me the next day. He goes, "You didn't talk shit about me," or "You did talk." Usually, I do talk shit about him. But, he walks around the fucking con like David Niven all the time with the ascot, the cigarette holder, the smoking jacket. You know, then I'm at the booth and we got the Avengers signing, right? And I look up there, and who do I see like in line waiting to get the I go, look at this son of a bitch. He was supposed to be working. And during workout, he was working the other booth we had.
Yep.
And instead of working the booth, you know, with the Shadow Thief, he's up there getting fucking Hawkeye's autograph. I go, look at this jagoff. Nice fucking country, America. That's why Canada doesn't have a missile system, because you leave assholes like Tiz involved, and he goes out to have a cigarette, and someone turns the keys and fucking bombs Russia or something. Blows up Rhode Island because Tiziano was taking a shit in the gas station or something.
I thought he turned around and looked at you and said, "I thought you closed the fucking booth."
Yeah, I know. I saw him, and I go, look at that son of a bitch. Because he's up there, you know, I need to get this sign. And the signatures were nothing more than like a squiggle.
Right.
You know, they weren't even a signature. And it's like, I thought, you know, save it for, you know, fans or kids or whoever. And then out of all those people, you see one big white-haired jagoff up there. I go, look at that fucking guy. You know, you see Harvey Korman from Carol Burnett on the stage. I go, look at this fucking guy. Hey, where's Tim Conway, fuckhead? You know, where the fuck is he? Fuck. And I'm like, you know, nobody ever says, "Hey, Sal, hey, I got this for you." Or I was never. Not even a cup of coffee. Nobody ever says, "Hey, Sal, thanks a lot. Here's a cup of..." Are you kidding? They come over and they fuck with me. They're like, yeah, Sal, listen, I ran out of money. Can I have a couple of sketchbooks, you know, to use as currency? It's like, go suck 3 dicks. Leave me alone. That's bullshit. You know? Fuck out of here. I can't wait for the day when I don't have to say shit to any of these people. They'll see me walking down the street, and I'll be like a soap opera where I got amnesia. They won't even know who the fuck I am. I'll walk right by. Hi, how are you? How you doing? Who? Sal? No, you got me confused with somebody else. No, I changed my name a long time ago. I'll be like Rutger Hauer, Nighthawk. I'll get fucking plastic surgery and walk around. You don't even know who the fuck I am. You know, I'll look like fucking, you know, one of those assholes from one of those Downtown Abbey or some bullshit. I'll have a little, you know, a little handlebar mustache. I'll have a cane. You won't even know who the fuck I am. I swear to God. I'll look like the fucking butler from Family Affair. You won't even recognize me if your life depended on it.
This is a Badge and Cabin reference. I love it.
Yeah, I'll look like fucking Uncle Charlie from My Three Sons. That's how bad it is. Fuck out of here. Can't wait to come and fucking bother me. Nobody will know it's me. Nobody. Not even my wife. I'll be dressed as a rabbi. I'll be walking around. Hey, guys, how are you? Hey, that guy sounds like Sal. Next time you see me, I'm telling you, I'll be the guy pushing the cart selling hot dogs in New York. Hey, how are you? How you doing? guy looks like Sal.
Nope, never heard of him. Nope.
Yeah, never to be spoken of again. I'll fucking vaporize. It's gone, man. Be like, fuck this. Who needs this shit? You know? You get to the point where you just like, you go to these cons and you know people, but most of the time you know people for all the wrong reasons. It's not because it's like you think you know people and you're standing there and you go, "Who that fucking guy up there looks just like Tess?" Oh wait, that is Tess. Oh, I'm sorry. I was under the impression he was working, but he's up there getting, he's up there going, "Yeah, hi guys. Have any of you seen Scarlett Johansson? Why isn't she here? She's not here. Do you know where she is? You don't know? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Never mind. Are these free? Are these free? These are free. Okay. Thank you. What am I doing? Oh, nothing. I'm not working. No. Working for the asshole over there. The guy who works for the Gotham Bus Company, right over there. The guy who looks like that. Yeah. Fuck away from me.
Then he yells over, wave, Sal, wave.
Yeah, not one fucking time did they go, "Hey, Sal, I saw this and I got it for you." Never. Not like, "Hey, I walked by and I saw they were handing out, free Crisco and I got your can," or, shit like that. Anything. It's always, I'm like, what the fuck were you doing up there? He was up there for, it only took a minute. Took a minute? Those people were in line for hours to get up there to get the Avengers autograph, okay? So in the meantime, he leaves Al-Qaeda in charge of my other booth, all right? Where they're over there selling fucking, body bombs, how to wrap yourself in dynamite and walk into a crowd, covered with roofing nails and how to kill the most people. So that's what they're selling at my booth right now because he's too fucking busy, over. And I'm going, "Hey, asshole, you realize now that the feds are going to be all over me about who the fuck was running my other booth." So when you see them arrest people at 2 a.m. in like those rabbit holes, I guarantee they'll have an Alex Ross T-shirt on. I have no doubt in my mind. None. They'll have like a copy of like the some back issues of Submariner or something where he fights a Tuma or some shit. Go, "Hey, I like those issues."
Oh my god.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know it. That's why I can't stop laughing.
Okay, all right. You know. You see, you have to experience the level of jagoff that I'm talking about to go, oh yeah. I've been kicked in the balls that hard. I know. I get it. I understand. It's like having food poisoning. Where you have to have had it to know how bad it is to where you got to sit on the toilet naked, because you don't have time to undress or you'll shit your pants. That's what these people are like, just like that. I slept on the bathroom floor one time. I had it so bad. Naked, because if I put even underwear on, I couldn't get them down fast enough, or I would just shit all over myself. That's how bad it was. That's what these people are like in my life, Peter. Just so you know. You wonder where this is going and why you're fantasizing about me hanging up. That's why. If only he would stop talking. There's a show I want to watch, and I just can't take him anymore. My wife's like that right now. She's like, "Oh, shit, are you done already?" Oh, God, now he's going to want to watch Starsky and Hutch. Some horrible shows he likes to watch.
Oh my god.
Gentlemen, congratulations on the 1500.
Yeah.
Thank you.
1500.
Thanks for coming.
Jesus Christ. I thought that was that movie with those Greek guys. All and shit. Although I saw that Greek soccer team in the World Cup. That's not fucking 300, man. Let me tell you. Those are some ugly-looking motherfuckers. How do you have a country with that many ugly bastards, yet they have such great coffee shops here in Chicago? How the fuck does that work? Did you see that Greek team in the World Cup, Peter? You're Hispanic. You like soccer. Did you see what they look like? They look like fucking those fucking chia pets. It was scary. They look like those fucking Ewoks that jump out of trees and were stepping on stormtroopers. Just throw a soccer ball in front of them and go, "Hey, it's the Greek fucking national team right here. Look at this."
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, congratulations, guys!
Thank you, Sal.
Another fucking 1500. Good luck with Jamie's run. God bless you. I'm gonna
Thank you.
Definitely chime in and hope everybody give a bunch of money because it's definitely a worthwhile cause.
Oh, thank you so much, Sal.
Thanks, Sal.
Yeah. Hey, no, thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh, you're very welcome.
You know that Jagoff meant as much to me as he did to you guys.
Yes.
He was the sweetest guy in the world.
I
he really was.
loved your picture after San Diego of the pins.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to do something there, for him and with him, but I didn't want to sit. I was worried that it would look like I was patronizing the situation, because it was Comic-Con. I wanted to, be sure people realized, that it was from the heart. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm just going to put this up to try to, There's too much of that bullshit. So that's why, But it was. I was thinking about him. It was. This is Comic-Con is Comic-Con, but then, friends like him, that's something else.
Yes.
So, knock it out with that damn run. How long was it? 5 miles? 3 miles? What is it?
Only about 6. Some are running over 6, some are running 3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Run, walk. It's just about, just supporting everybody. And, hopefully you guys will do it every year, right? You're going to do it every year or just going to see how it goes?
Oh, geez, we didn't talk about that.
No, we haven't thought that far ahead yet.
No, I noticed. A lot of organizations, depending on on how much you support or how many people want to participate, they tend to try to make it an annual thing. And it's a good kick in the ass to get people together and get in shape and raise money at the same time.
And there's more and more around here. There's another one later in August or early September that I might do, just to try and get out and do more and keep going. It's very local.
There's also other races you could participate, things you could participate in and then raise money for cancer charity that way. I do stuff like that, for my sister. I just give money and, for different things and little 5Ks or 3Ks, whatever it is. And then it doesn't have to be a whole, although it's great you guys are putting the event on. It's nice,
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a great idea. Do it like every year. I never even thought that far ahead.
Yeah, if you get enough people involved, it would be nice. I mean, Lord knows people in the comics community can afford to move their ass. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, it's a big problem because come on, we sit all the time.
Oh my God, yeah. As my job alone, all I do is sit in front of the computer all day. It drives me
nuts.
nuts.
I mean, whether we're in front of the computer or we're drawing or whatever we're doing, we just don't move enough.
Nope. Not at all.
So, but I'll keep in touch with everything. Anything you guys need, just let me know.
Absolutely.
All right.
If you guys are going to have an auction or a raffle or anything like that, let me know. I'm glad to donate some art and whatever you guys need.
Awesome. Well, Sal,
don't be bashful. I never hear from you guys anymore because I know everybody's busy. But keep in touch.
Absolutely. Well, Sal, again, thank you for everything. Thank you for your years of friendship and just
support, friendship, advice.
It's wonderful.
My pleasure. Stay out of trouble.
Absolutely.
You
Sal,
too.
God bless you, Sal.
All right, man.
Take care.
It easy, guys.
All right.
All right.
man.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, wow. Another hoot and a half.
Yeah, you still there, Peter?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I love that man so much. He's just so wonderful. Like, if you see him at a show, just walk up and just talk to him. He loves hearing from the fans. I literally lost about 4 pounds just laughing through this episode now.
Yeah.
Oh, he is so wonderful. Well, like I said, this is actually airing after the race, but we'll have more about the race later on. But I wanted to get a nice big anniversary type episode up here.
Yep.
So thank you, Sal. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you guys.
Yes, it's been fun. All right, Shane, take us home, buddy.
This episode of Comic Geek Speak was sponsored by Discount Comic Book Service and its sister company, InStockTrades.com. Go to those two sites for all your pre-ordering needs. Discount Comic Book Service is your pre-ordering for your monthly books and trades and hardbacks as they come out new. In Stock Trades is for hardbacks, paperbacks. If it's on the website, it is in stock and available. That's DCB Service and InStockTrades.com. To visit us, go to Comic Geek Speak. I just lost my train of thought.
.com.
.com. To send us an email, the address is comicgeekspeak@gmail.com. To leave a voicemail, the number is 267-702-6642. Stop by the Comic Forums and comment on this episode. Let us know how crazy Sal is. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. We would like to thank everyone who contributes to the show. We do appreciate it. Thank you, Sal, for coming on and helping us with our 1500th episode. And as always, we are uniting the world's mightiest heroes, one listener at a time.
Laser beams, opinions like the sea.